Seahawks dropped their series to the Guardians for a third consecutive series loss. That loss also dropped them to second place in the AL West standings. No off day today after that road trip. Instead, they'll open up a series here at home against the Angels tonight at 6:40 p.m. The World Cup adds a quirk to the schedule this week. The Mariners and Angels will play 2 games, Monday and Tuesday, break on Wednesday, and then pick up the series finale on Thursday. The pregame tonight starts at 5:30 on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
A lot to talk about with the Mariners. Some good sound to get to with the Seattle Seahawks. You guys will absolutely love what one ESPN analyst had to say. That's coming up at 11. Before we get to it, well, we're going to dive into what we liked, loved, and disliked. Something tells me that third category is going to have a lot of answers with the Mariners road trip. Bump's back. Yay!
All right.
Yay!
What up, dog?
How was your week without us? Did you miss us?
I did. I actually listened to the show a little bit, too.
Oh.
I did a lot of
Why
driving.
would you do that to yourself
why
on
would you do
vacation?
that?
Because I was driving a lot. I was on
okay.
my golf tour. I started on the west side, then drove to Cincadia, then drove to Gamble, then drove to Chelan, then drove back. So I'm a lot of time on the road. I was by myself, so
Okay.
I was like, all right, let me listen into the squad.
Did you listen at any point and just go, that's a great point that those two are making?
Every
They're so smart.
point you made, I said, I get it.
Okay.
I feel it.
Well, you did have people asking where you were. A lot of people panicking.
Okay.
I responded to all of them, and I said, he just quit.
I'm done. They fired me.
Yeah. I said, I don't know what to tell you. He just got up and left. So
Hit me with that Trump. You're fired. You're
that's
fired.
exactly what he did. Now, Bump, I wish that you were coming back with a really fun road trip to talk about with the Mariners.
Yeah, me too.
I would love to be able to have you back on the show, and we get to have so much fun and so much energy. We are still bringing those two things, but we have to have some tough conversations because the Mariners suffered not just their second series loss on the road, a third consecutive series loss, dropping a series to the Red Sox, dropping a series to the Pirates, dropping a series to the Guardians, which is losing the season series for them, by the way. And here they are headed back home. Now, schedule-wise, you got 2 against the Angels tonight at T-Mobile, off day Wednesday, picking things up on Thursday. Now, I could say they need to get right, but we all know that. So let's figure out what went right and wrong, and then where they go from here. Liked, loved, disliked. Disliked, we're doing third. Anything you liked or loved?
I'm just going to focus on last night.
Okay.
Not this year's, because I ain't going to lie. I didn't watch every Mariner
You were on
game,
vacation.
every pitch. I'm kind of tuning in and seeing what's going on, but not enough to break down a bunch of the games. But obviously the last couple of games I've been locked in, knowing that I have to come back to work and talk about this team and what they're doing. So last night, what I liked, 13 hits. Great. 13 hits. They hit the ball. But then I also have a side note, okay, 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position. So those 13 hits are like that donut I just ate this morning. It's empty calories. It's empty. Like, you get no benefits out of that.
It was fun.
You know, it was cool. You got on base. You did score some runs. You scored more than 3 for the first time in,
but there's
13
no
games or
protein.
something like that. But empty calories. Those were empty calories. That was tough to see. So, yes, I appreciate guys getting on base. I appreciate some of the plays that were made, but you did get 13 hits, but 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position. Empty calories is what I wrote down.
You know why? Because they're still missing those home runs. They're still missing the eggs and the toast and the healthier portion of things. Is you're getting runners on base, and then you don't have slug. You're just getting a bunch of singles. You're stealing a couple bases. It's all great. This is what people who are like, more small ball. Like, yeah, there have been times when we're like, just string a couple hits together for the love of God.
Please.
But you still need the big ones.
Yeah, and we know how this team operates. If they don't hit bombs, they don't win games. You're coming off a month. Well, the month is almost over, but this month they've hit the least amount of home runs they have in the last 3. And look at them, struggling right now.
All right. Anything else to add, Curtis? Anything for liked or loved? Want to make sure we cover our bases here.
I mean, Munoz looked pretty good on Friday, right?
Yeah.
That was an encouraging sign.
Like that?
Wish we could have seen him more in the series, specifically in a high leverage spot or two.
Well, let's keep it moving and go to what we disliked. Bump.
I'll leave that for Curtis. That was one of mine, but I wrote another one just in case. I think we were texting last night, and Curtis, you put this in my noggin. JP's at bat in the ninth. the swinging at the first pitch. It's like,
Okay.
work it. You know what I'm saying? Would you say the pitcher was 20 pitches deep? at
Yeah,
the time?
he was struggling to get through that inning.
It's like,
Make him
all right,
work.
Let's work it. You know, let's work it. So I didn't like it. I felt like JP would be able to come through, clutch at the end. I would just prefer that he be a bit more patient.
Can I ask a stupid baseball question before we get to bullpen
I
stuff,
love
which I want to rant
stupid
about?
baseball
I will admit that this is a stupid baseball question. I've never played. I'm not like around the hitting staff. So they have some very aggressive hitters. Cal swings at a first pitch often. Julio swings at the first pitch often. JP did last night, and that was just kind of a rally killer late. Is that something that is an organizational focus, or is it just something that you just have some aggressive hitters? This is a typical baseball rule, swing at the first pitch. Like, what is this?
I think it's an individual thing.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think they say, swing, first pitch, baby, be aggressive. I think it's that you have to swing at something that you like. And obviously JP liked that pitch. But sometimes you got to be more patient. Remember when Randy had the most disrespectful AB we've ever seen?
It was funny.
Where he stepped out the box like 3 times in a row and then bow,
on it.
goes yard. I mean, you
cool.
have to do you in those situations, but I think you also have to be aware. And I don't know if he had that information that Curtis talked about with the pitcher struggling and having 20 pitches in that inning or whatnot. But you have to feel the identity of that inning in that moment, and it felt like he didn't.
All right, let's go to bullpen stuff. Curtis, I'll bring you in here as well in 1 sec. Let's go over what happened. Hancock's at 98 pitches with 2 outs in the 6th. You need to get through it. And I'm guessing, being at 98 pitches, you want to pull Hancock? Okay. Curtis, what are the options that Dan has in this moment?
So in that spot, I mean, he's got his entire bullpen except for Ferrer, who was kind of deemed unavailable yesterday. I mean, unless the game went into 14, 15 innings. So in that spot, you had your entire bullpen at your disposal, and it was a 4-1 ball game. You only needed 1 out. And you've got Schneemann up, who is a lefty. You bring in Bizzardo. They have Schneemann up. So righty on lefty. Schneemann gets a double. But then the very next batter, Bizzardo strikes out Patrick Bailey to end the inning. So you get out of the inning, no damage done. But you don't bring Bizzardo back out in the 7th when you do have a bunch of lefties in a row, Quan, Bazana, and DeLauder right there. But you did use Spire in that spot. I thought maybe instead of using Bizzardo in the 6th to face that one lefty, you probably put Simpson in that spot rather than use Simpson in emergency duty in the 8th after Rucker just simply couldn't get anybody out. I thought using Bizzardo for just the 1 out, Spire in the 7th left you very exposed in that 8th inning, having 2 guys who are not used to pitching in those kinds of spots, at least at the big league level. Then all of a sudden now you are in a really tough spot, especially if things get out of hand, and sure enough, they did in that inning.
I can't tell, Bump, whether I was trying to make sense of, if I'm Dan Wilson in this moment, what am I thinking? What's the context that I'm looking at? What's the situation and how I'm interpreting it? Like Curtis, I would have either gone with the lefty Simpson for that final out against the lefty Schneemann, who was pinch hitting, or I would have had Bizzardo come in, get that final out, and then kept Bizzardo, regardless of the top of the lineup being pretty lefty heavy for the Guardians. That's a reality. You still know that you're going to have to go through this lineup again. So, either Bizzardo comes out and you lean into Spire in the 8th, or you have them overlap over 2 innings, whatever it is. I think that Dan made this decision because he looked at the top of the lineup, saw 3 lefties, and thought that's the pocket for Spire. Yep. I don't know that that's exactly what it was, but I'm assuming it had to be. I'm assuming he saw top of the lineup, 3 lefties, leaving only Munoz as hey, we want to go to him to close this out. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong. Is this a bad faith interpretation? I wonder if Dan didn't think that game would be as close as it was. If he looked at the situation and thought, this is the big moment. This is the most important out. I need Bizzardo to get out there. And Ryan Divish articulated it really well in one of his postgame articles about the pivot guy and how Bizzardo's been great in that situation, that's the most important out. Get out of that moment, and that they would be able to use basically like AAA guys to get through the rest of the game because that was the big moment, which I think is a misreading of the game for a team that has put up runs late.
I mean, that has to be the way he was looking at it, right? I think I'm with you when it comes to Bizzardo. I would have liked to see him in there a bit longer. Legit. I know we've seen Rucker before at some point this season, right? I turned on the TV, or I was making dinner at the time, and I look back. Was I making dinner? No, it was early. I was making something to eat. And I look back, I go, who's Rucker? Like, who's Rucker and why is he in this game right now? And I'm looking at where he's from and all this stuff, and I'm like, all right. And I felt like some weight get on me because I haven't seen this young man in this position before. And if I'm not familiar with him and I haven't seen him in this position before, I start scratching my head like, all right, so why do we do this? And it comes down to some type of analytics, or maybe that was the plan going in. There are things that we don't know that Dan and upper management, the conversation that they have and the strategy that they have. But when the game was over, I'm talking to you and Curtis. I'm trying to make sense of this thing. Like, what the heck's going on? Like, why would we do this? And I land on the conclusion that sometimes you just got to go with your dogs. Just go with your dogs sometimes. I know that this analytics say this or matchups say this, but sometimes I'm just going to throw my guy out there and let him perform. Then after the game, I think Divish asked him a question about the relievers. Like, all right, well, do you not want to push them 2 to 3 innings? And Dan kind of danced around the answer. He never really said, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, well, this is the plan. And you just got to take it for what it is. So him being so tight-lipped had me question, okay.
Yeah.
Does he not want to throw someone under the bus? Or is he just so disappointed in his decision-making that I'm not even going to get into that?
Let's take a listen to one of those answers. So this was Dan Wilson after the game. In this instance, he's asked about going to those 2 arms, Rucker and Simpson, in a high-leverage situation.
Jose was down today, and with where it landed and getting Bizzardo in the game, it was time to get Spire in there, and that made it a little bit difficult there in the 8th. But, I think, again, just it's a tough one to swallow there, and to not be able to get out of that inning and to push hard to lead throughout the game, and then it's a tough way to go. But like I said, regroup tomorrow.
There's a lot of words. This is Divish's first question to him. Like Bump said, what Dan's saying is where we were in the game, it was time to go to Spire. He's talking about, I think, going back to the top of the lineup to start the next inning, the 7th. It's 3 lefties. Mm-hmm. So that's what he's looking at. I'm assuming that's what he means with where we were, it was time to go to Spire.
Yeah.
Then Ryan follows up with, hey, is there a reason that guys can't carry over into innings? So a reason why Gabe couldn't pitch more than 1 inning or Bizzardo couldn't pitch into the next inning. And that's the answer Bump was talking about, where he just kind of danced around that too.
Yeah, he's kind of danced around it. I mean, obviously he's disappointed. He's probably still going through these situations in his head. And there is, if you look at, we're just looking at lefties, righties, and all that good stuff. That part of it makes sense, right? Why you throw Spire out there against the heavy lefties like you mentioned. It was just more of the young guys coming in, Simpson and Rucker, that why would you put those guys in that situation when it feels like what the Mariners have done best are take care of their arms and develop them? Like, to me, as a coach, different sport, but as a coach, it's like me throwing in a sophomore in a Friday night game, and we need this game to move on or to keep our standings in our league, right? I know how important this is. So instead of going with a kid that probably has the capabilities of doing it but hasn't really been in those positions, I'll go with the slower kid who I know is going to do the right things and at least has experienced that type of pressure before.
4-1 was not a safe lead. The Guardians are a good team. Angie had a great stat about the Guardians putting up runs in late in games. You need to have situational awareness. I'm not a manager. It's not my place to stand on a pedestal and go, you need to do this as a manager. But I can opine about what I felt was a mistake, and I felt that the bullpen management in this one was a mistake. It felt like Dan saw this as the high leverage moment. That's the moment. We're going to go to our dog, Bizzardo. That's what we're going to do. And then after that, it's like, we've got the guys to match. But you don't. I mean, maybe you have too much confidence in these arms or not enough faith that the Guardians can do something. I don't know what it is, but it was not a correct reading, I think, of the danger the Mariners were still in.
No, and listen, I'm looking at the text line, and people are hot. And you should be hot, right? You're no longer in first place. The Rangers are now in first. And hindsight is always 20/20. And maybe in that moment, you're saying, what the heck is going on here, like some of us were saying. But Dan's in a tough position, and he has to go with what he thinks is right. The problem is that there have been more than a few times this year where what he thinks is right, when I talk to my baseball experts and stuff, they disagree with it. And also, man, I wish I knew what was going on upstairs. Like, is he making these decisions all by himself? If he is, so be it. If he's not, we'll never know. It's just this seems to happen way too often for a team that has high expectations.
Curtis, do you think there's a chance that there's preferences coming from bullpen arms that Dan is listening to?
I think potentially. I mean, some guys maybe you're like, I don't feel comfortable in that spot coming in, and Dan's got to balance that out, sure, but also at some point, like, your team needs you, man. It doesn't matter the situation if you don't want to come in that spot. Like, I get that the high leverage spots can be, dicey for a lot of these guys, but also at the end of the day, like, what are you doing to help your team win? Like, if you don't feel comfortable coming in outside of, the ninth inning, if you don't feel comfortable coming in outside of, your role as a bridge guy to the closer, then, like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, the most important thing is getting a win, maybe not necessarily making you feel so comfortable in your role.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, the Texas Rangers are now in first place in the AL West after sweeping the Blue Jays in a 4-game series. What's the real headline?
That can't be right.
No.
Wait, you're telling me that in a year in which the entire American League, and in particular the American League West, is down bad, you can't hang on to first place? The Rangers?
Hey, Rangers
Not
earned
to disrespect the Rangers, but everyone in this division's bad.
They earned it. Just swept the Blue Jays. Lost a series to the Marlins. Beat the Padres in a series. They took advantage. They did what the Mariners have been doing all year. They took advantage of a situation. And the situation with the Mariners is they have not been playing some good ball. So the Rangers won a game here, won a game there. Boom, got hot. Now they're on top, getting some contributions from players who don't have a bunch of ABs but are playing some good ball. Look, they earned that just the same way that Mariners have earned this second place, right? And honestly, in any other year, the way they've been playing, they're probably not hold on to first place as long as they have. So what is this going to do to the Mariners? How does this motivate you? Because this is still a winnable division. Like you mentioned, the division is down, the league is down. But tip your cap to the Rangers, hold on to it, but I think that the Mariners still have an opportunity to be fine.
Headline rewrites.
Line number two, Jason Robertson reportedly turned down an offer from the Kraken that was closer to $125 million over 8 years rather than the $120 million that was originally reported. What's the real headline?
Oh, so he really didn't want to be here. Got it.
No, I don't think he wants to be here, but I also think that, according to all the things that I've read, he could get a bigger deal over there with the Stars. 8-year, $136 million is what they're thinking about. It's comparable to Kaprizov, who plays with Minnesota. He's getting about $17 million a year. He's 26 years old. This could be a leverage move. Also, they're saying, look, right before the draft, they could revisit this if he doesn't get that from the Stars. So, yes, I don't think he's eager to come to Seattle. Why would he? They haven't done anything to attract these free agents. But there's some gamesmanship going on here, too.
Next up.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number three, the Golden State Warriors are reportedly trying to pursue LeBron James and Anthony Davis this offseason. What's the real headline?
Does Golden State have plans of joining an over 40 church league? Can you imagine that?
Those
church
old
league?
heads.
Yeah.
Draymond, Steph.
AD.
They're just trying to build Team USA.
It's amazing.
Team USA 2010. Golden State, so Draymond declined the $27.6 million option today. So that is kind of foreshadowing. They're saying, all right, what does that mean? To trade AD or to get AD, you're probably going to have to give up Jimmy Butler, who's coming off of an ACL injury. Going into this season, they were the second oldest team in the game, around 27.5. I think the Clippers were right under them. This reminds me of the 2003 3 or 4 Lakers when we brought in Gary Payton,
Karl Malone,
Steve Nash. And on paper, it's like, oh, we got a squad. And then you see these old heads with gray in their beards running around, and it's like, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah.
But this is different. I think LeBron still has some good ball left in him. I think AD, when he's healthy, is a top 15 player in the game. And Steph Curry is still playing at a very high level. Is it enough to beat the young guns in the West? I don't think so. But I think they become an 8th seed to like a 5th seed with this move.
Man, that training staff is going to have their work cut out.
A lot of
There's
icy
gonna
hot.
be so much icy hot in that building. A question I want to reintroduce that I asked you guys off air, but look, LeBron is the GOAT to so many, and maybe especially to older fans, like a second place, maybe third place GOAT, but like one of the greatest of all time. We can all absolutely understand that. If he does go to Golden State, I have a question. Does playing for multiple teams take away from the legacy a guy has?
Not anymore.
I know that sounds stupid, but I just want to throw that out there.
Not anymore. LeBron's going to be the GOAT regardless, or one of the GOATs regardless.
That's facts.
KD's going to be one of the greatest regardless. He played on a bunch of teams. Westbrook's going to be considered a top 5 point guard of all time. He's played on a bunch of teams. James Harden is going to be regarded as one of the greatest shooters of all time. He's played on a bunch of teams. I think that this is just the way that it is now. And once you get to a certain age, I ain't mad at you chasing the ring. You know, you reach 37, 38, go ahead and chase your ring, bro.
I wonder if the Warriors will be one of those teams where in 20 years when we're doing NBA trivia, we kind of forget that he played for them. Assuming that he does, and it's probably one season.
The one.
Because those are my favorite things where it's like, wait, I'm sorry.
White Sox King Griffey Jr.
Just like he played for hoops and when? These are the best sports.
There's
trivia.
another juicy rumor in the NBA too today that the Clippers and Raptors would be working on a trade for Kawhi Leonard, sending him back to Toronto.
And now what do you think about that?
Well, I feel like that might be Kawhi saying a little bit of buyer's remorse going to LA all those years ago.
He said that's the only place he wants to go. It's back to Toronto.
We didn't have a chance at all to ask you about Giannis.
Yeah, that was crazy. I woke up and having a cup of coffee, and I see Giannis in an AI Heat uniform, and I'm thinking, oh, so much tripping. What are they doing? You know, look at my phone. You know, I get got sometimes when I'm that AI. AI, give me sometimes. Get your boy.
The internet does get you sometimes.
And I had to verify, and I'm like, all right, it's still not enough over there. Adebayo's there as well. You're going to need somebody else. I hear they're looking at Westbrook.
You missed our headline rewrite for that, Curtis, which was...
Gracious.
It was like, congrats on Giannis getting to play with one of the all-time greats, Bam Adebayo.
It's fake 83. Is 83?
It was 83.
Fake 83. Man, my man shot 100 free throws, man.
83.
That was the fakest 83 of all time.
Fake 83.
All right. Still to come, kind of a Mariners heavy first hour and then a Seahawks heavy second hour. So we've got you covered with quite a few updates today. At 10:45, Cal Raleigh had some interesting comments about effort that we want to revisit. We'll play you that sound and talk about what a clubhouse or a locker room can feel like when a team is struggling. Coming up at 11, are the Seahawks the most disrespected Super Bowl team ever? One ESPN analyst thinks so and compares them to a couple others that have faced similar disrespect. But coming up next, we had a lot to say and a lot to fairly critique about Dan Wilson's bullpen decision Sunday. But the Mariners kind of created this problem for themselves long before the game even started. We'll tell you how they did it and how they fix it next.
This was a bad trip.
Throw home, one hop, the slide, the tag. He is safe at home as the ball was dropped. 2 more runs.
Yeah, it's a tough one to take.
And they lose their grip on first place in the West.
Tonight, the Mariners are back home at T-Mobile in the first of 3 against the Angels.
Get back home and get ourselves on a roll and get going.
6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Olympic Hot Tubs mid-year clearance event is on. Score big savings on saltwater hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Hurry, our mid-year clearance and these incredible deals end June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Why compromise when you can drive home the exact Mazda you want? At Mazda of Everett, the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, you'll find over 200 new Mazda CX-50s in stock. Available with 0% financing for 36 months on approved credit. Shop from every color, package, and feature. And receive the Mazda of Everett price. Shop Mazda of Everett on Highway 99 in Everett or online at MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA 2025 sales numbers.
Daryl's knee problems started years ago. The initial injury happened back in my high school days. It was more of a nerve damage that was done in the knee.
And eventually it led to surgery.
They had the knee replacement done on the right knee. The orthopedic surgeon I worked with obviously was ready to do the work on the left knee, and I just didn't feel good about it.
Instead of another replacement, he chose stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. How's your pain now?
On a bad day, 1 or 2.
So you went from an 8 to a 1 or a 2?
It's been great. I can't say the same for the other knee. We're still having challenges.
And when people ask you about surgery?
What I always tell them is that you should first talk to Dr. Wagner. You should look at stem cell as an option before you do the surgery. Because once you do the surgery, the stem cell isn't going to help you. And if he says he can help you, believe him.
Before you choose surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Pacific Power Batteries understands batteries for golfers, batteries for your car, your golf cart, and your bag's electric cart. We also sell good, used, 5-year-old E-Z-Go and Yamaha golf carts with a written satisfaction guarantee starting as low as $17.99. Located in Everett, Marysville, Mount Vernon, Bellingham, Monroe, and Wenatchee, you'll find our staff is well-trained in batteries and the latest charging technology. Pacific Power Batteries, with batteries for golfers.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. Improve your play with 25% off windows and doors or 12 months, no interest, and no payments. We're also giving back to the community with 2 $5,000 scholarships for our local youth sports teams. Upgrade your home today at PellaPNW.com.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
The Mariners are all about giving you more baseball for your buck. With Mariners Value Games, you can score seats for less than $12 on select dates all season long. Plus, be sure to check out the biggest ever value menu and beer lineup. Available every game and featuring 36 items. From ballpark classics like hot dogs, nachos, and refillable sodas to canned brews starting at just $5. Go to mariners.com/value to grab your value game tickets and check out the full slate of value options at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in 15 minutes, Cal Raleigh with some interesting comments about effort. Again, coming up in 15. Right now, sticking with the Mariners. Dan Wilson, all three of us agreed, made bullpen decisions we didn't love. We personally felt like there were some other decisions we would have liked to see made that would have set the Mariners up for success yesterday. However, this isn't to just take blame away and say, don't critique anyone on this team. There's just a lot of blame to go around. The issue that Dan was facing was an issue created by the Mariners long before the game even started. So let's talk about big picture here. It's probably time to end the piggyback, because this kind of put you in this spot. First, let's take a listen back to what Jeff Passan on with Brock and Salk had to say about the piggyback.
Same place as I was. I just think, I appreciate the fact that this rotation gets along well enough and is as bought into the plan as it is, that there's not any public complaining about this, that there's not seemingly a grand concern over where things are. And maybe they have been told that we're doing this through the All-Star break. And, after that, we're going to make an actual decision. But this just seems like kicking the can down the road.
Two issues here. Number one, the six-man rotation in general just takes an arm out of the pen. Number two, you wanted to go with a piggyback, starting Logan and then later Emerson, and then decided against it for whatever reason, which, perfectly within your right to do. But in deciding against it, it kind of backfired. Logan didn't have the best start ever. And it's not to say, people were, look, when we were talking about, you weren't here, but when we were talking about Logan starting that piggyback, there were people mad about that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I think that there were people that saw that they canceled it and were like, great move. I think my bigger thing here, Bump, is you have to make a decision. You can't keep changing your plans last minute and making it kind of confusing and leaving yourself short-staffed, because now you don't have a piggyback and you don't have an extra arm in the pen.
Yeah, my thing is arm in the pen. I mean, the more you get into these situations where you're throwing out names that aren't really familiar, I start to think about the piggyback. And also, everyone that we spoke to about the piggyback before it officially started said this was a temporary thing. This shouldn't be part of this team's identity as they're going to piggyback the heck out of this. I'm with you. It's time to make a decision, because once you make decisions, then players can settle into their roles on this team. They're always guessing, is it piggyback? Is it not piggyback? Are we moving it around? What's going on? There's just no certainty. It's cool for the short term, but if you really want to be consistent as a team, you must be consistent with your rotation. So that's why I think, it was cool while it lasted. We got a couple good performances. We got a couple bad performances, but I think there should be enough data, enough evidence now to where whether you're right or wrong, you should lean a certain direction.
Hey, Curtis, take us to kind of an alternate universe version of the Mariners. If they would have, let's say, stuck with the piggyback with Logan and Emerson Hancock, what would the week have looked like? I don't mean predict a win, but tell us what that meant for the bullpen.
Well, it would have meant yesterday you would have had a almost completely available bullpen, because Saturday's game you had to use Ferrer for one inning. And that would have been a lefty you could have used in that spot instead of Bizzardo against Schneemann in the sixth inning?
So you could have gone Ferrer, and then if you didn't want to bring back out, Spire, then Bizzardo.
Right, so
Munoz.
That would have definitely helped out your bullpen on Sunday for sure. And you wouldn't have had to put Simpson or Rucker in that spot, so I think... Yeah. It stinks because we're all tired of the piggyback.
Yeah.
But also the piggyback would have been a benefit to you on Sunday if that all could have gone down.
Well, and again, you can't keep not making a decision. I said it last week, and it's kind of like my primary thing with the Mariners right now. Make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Move with purpose. If you're a contender, move with purpose. And so whatever those decisions are, just do it. You can't keep kind of, willy-nilly, we'll figure this out. We're trying to balance too many things. Be sure of who you are. And, sometimes it does backfire. If they would have done, here's the thing. I know that it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing with front offices sometimes. If they would have rolled out Logan and been like, no, we're still piggybacking him with Emerson, and then Logan gave up a single hit, no runs, and then they put Emerson out, and Emerson gave up 2 hits and 2 runs. People would have been mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are advocating they do a thing that, like, in another world, people are upset about, and I get that. But my thing is, whatever you choose to do, choose that so that the plan is clear. A great question from Mo. Who would we throw out there that can make a difference in the bullpen? Bump, you've been an advocate of putting Castillo in the pen.
Yeah, man.
Solves both problems.
I mean, all your starters right now, text it in. Who are you putting in the bullpen right now? Who are you going to put in? I'm not putting Wu. I know he struggled. Not putting Logan. Not putting Kirby. Not putting Miller. Castillo's the only one. I mean, we've seen this transition from a starter to bullpen before. I think Schmaltz did it for like 55 games, something like that with Atlanta, I believe, back in the day. He did come back the next year and got into a starting role again. But it's what is best for the team right now. I started off this whole piggyback deal with, all right, let's be conscious of the mentality of the athlete, which you need to be.
And was a fair point.
Yeah, and you know what? They did that. We saw Castillo get mad in the dugout. We heard Miller be weird after a post game. We heard that Dan sat down with the guys and talked to her. This is what we're going to do. We got to be a month in now at least, right, to the piggyback? Mm-hmm. At least a month in. All right. Piggyback is a temporary thing. We got the data now. Now, let's do what's best for the team. You finesse the situation mentally. You tried to work it out with other guys being piggyback, and it's affected the team negatively, and it could have affected them positively, as Curtis pointed out. But you're doing it wrong. So since it doesn't feel smooth at this point, it is now time to send somebody to that dang bullpen, and my vote will be Castillo just because he's the elder statesman. And I think that if there's anyone who can handle change better, it has to be the guy who's been in the league the longest.
It also just makes the direction clear because, Bump, part of your issue wasn't just like, here's what I think they should do with Castillo. It almost felt like the primary issue you had was communicate that with Castillo.
Yeah.
That, like, look, whatever a team decides to do, yeah, you want to be aware of, like, players or people, and they might be feeling things. But the primary thing is communicate. Players are also adults. They can handle it. It may not feel great. It may be messing with someone's mentality. Mm-hmm. And there are some things you can't undo. Like if we're talking about a quarterback carousel in the NFL and you bench a guy and then have someone else play and then he messes up so you put your starter out, that's something you can't undo. That's confidence in a relationship that's been hurt. But for the most part, I don't know that this team, barring injury, is intent on having Luis be back out there. I think in an ideal world, a team like the Cubs would call them up, looking to trade for Castillo, and they'd be able to acquire a bullpen arm, add to the bullpen, go with 5 starters, offload part of Castillo's contract, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
I just don't know that that's going to happen. So whatever it is, decide. Because as Curtis pointed out, part of this problem was started by the Mariners and their lack of decision-making.
Funny how it all works out that way.
Yeah. And again, there's no obvious win. Like, there's going to be someone out there unhappy with any move they make, no matter what.
For sure.
But do what's right for you and what best sets you up to
succeed. What you think is right. And that's the tough part, is because every decision that is made, whether we like it or not, Dan and the powers that be think it's the right decision for the team. Every decision is not going to work out. But this floating in a gray area does more damage than good, in my opinion. I'd rather be like, look, this is how we're going to move forward. This is who we're going to be. And you win or lose by it. So I'm with 100%. Make a decision.
Yeah.
And let's move on.
Now, why I think they're doing it is, like, if we want to keep the ability to trade Castillo, he's more valuable when he's a starter. Someone else texted in about the Cubs, too. I think a lot of people kind of have their eye on them because they've lost several starters.
Mm-hmm.
But think about what works for you, too. If it starts costing you games, you just fell to second place in one of the worst divisions in baseball.
Mm.
Your lack of decision-making, while in part meant to, keep guys healthy, keep guys valuable, like we can all make out the reasoning. But it's kind of costing you games now, and it's putting you in tough spots. So
make a decision.
Make a decision.
Let's roll with it.
Maybe it's time to end the piggyback once and for all and get another bullpen arm out there. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, Cal Raleigh with some interesting comments about effort, and it's making us wonder what it's like inside the clubhouse right now.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
How do we assess this Mariner team? What do we do?
The main guys that you need to carry the water here, Cal, bad first half, okay? Julio has struggled of late. Donovan has been a non-factor. Naylor hasn't had a good year. I mean, that's the explanation. If this team's going to get back to where they were last year. And they can still do it. The fixes are there.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
Law Tigers was born from a passion for the open road. Over 25 years ago, they saw a community that has each other's backs. Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I've been writing for quite a while now, and I tell you, it's nice to know these guys are in my corner if I ever need them. Law Tigers was built by riders for riders, protecting what matters most, your freedom, your family, and the ride. They're here 24/7, 365 days a year because riders deserve real support whenever they need it. Your case evaluation is always free, and there are no fees until your case settles. They're going to help you get your bike and your gear repaired or replaced because they know how much those things mean to you. So if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Again, that's 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Because every ride you take, your freedom could be on the line. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. Let people come first.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
Do you know a woman making a difference in Seattle's sports and events community? Someone who leads with purpose, mentors others, champions inclusion, and inspires those around her to be their best? Why Seattle and Seattle Sports want to celebrate her. Nominations are now open for the 2026 Women of Inspiration Award, recognizing an outstanding woman whose impact is helping shape the future of sports and events in our region. Submit your nomination today at woiseattle.org. Nominations close July 10th.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
The sounds of summer. They're great until they're not. Luckily, AutoZone has free battery testing and charging.
Let me check that for you.
To help make a rough moment smooth. Don't miss the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone. Free products with select deals until July 27th. And free services every day. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Come join Cascade Machinery and Electric, where your skills really matter. Family owned and the Pacific Northwest industrial equipment leader for over 100 years. They're hiring manual and job shop machinists in Seattle and Spokane. If you're a skilled machinist at any level that takes pride in your craft, come join the Cascade Machinery and Electric team. Visit cascade-machinery.com/careers and apply today. Cascade Machinery and Electric, powering the Pacific Northwest since 1918.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, I want to do two things here. Number one, play you some sound I thought was interesting from Cal Raleigh, his comments after Sunday's game. And number two, talk about what happens inside a clubhouse or locker room when a team is struggling. And I'll preface all of this by saying that I don't want the tease I had to be misinterpreted. I don't think the Mariners clubhouse is imploding. I don't think that's what's happening. But I do think that losing and not understanding why things are so bad. Like, I know that that Cal Raleigh and Josh Naylor and Julio know, like, I'm not performing. But I think to, like, Brian Wu post-game when he looked really upset, I think there's a lot of guys on this team that are going, I mean, I'm trying. It's not working. It's just not working right now. And I think that's deeply frustrating. So that's what I imagine is people are probably feeling. But I think that sometimes that's in danger of becoming worse. So first, let's take a listen to what Cal said Sunday. This was being asked how they can turn the page.
You move on. You know, once you leave this locker room, it's over. But you know, we got to learn from it. We got to, you know, we got to put together better nines than we're doing right now. You know, like I said, I think we're doing a good job of getting guys on base, of, you know, starting out pretty relatively good. Or, you know, vice versa on the back half. But it's just, you know, those are full nines. To me, you got to play all 9 innings as hard as you can, a lot of energy, and then find a way to scrap and claw because, you know, you never know when you might need that extra one or that's the extra insurance is going to help. And it's kind of what I'm saying.
A little more here and take a listen closely.
Thought we did a good job early. You know, thought we'd come out with a good game plan, run some really good bats. But, you know, we got to keep the foot on the gas. I think that's the story of the game there. You know, can't let off. I think, you know, we got to play a full 9, you know, come to the field ready to compete for 2-3 hours a day and not an hour and a half. So I think that's kind of what I saw.
Got to keep our foot on the gas, play a full 9, can't let off. Now, I've listened to a billion post-game press conferences and post-game comments from players who you just kind of say the same stuff that you're like, hey, we got to keep at it. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't tell you how many times the Seahawks post-game presser or comments were like, want to know every week? Got to get back. You know, we'll take a look at the film. Like, you kind of are used to hearing the same stuff. So maybe this is all that is. But a little part of me, Bump, was wondering, like, who's taking their foot off the gas? Like, I'm sorry, but who wouldn't wonder that when you hear this quote?
All right, so I got 2 reactions.
Okay.
My first one was when you read it to me in the sports pit. You read it to me in the sports pit, and I have all the questions that you have. Like, full 9, who's not playing the full 9? Who's not going out there and giving it their all? Is there someone specific you're talking about, or what's going on? And then I hear him, and he sounds like he's just trying to get through the interview. It's like, yeah, I got to play full 9, and you win some, you lose some, and there's always ups and downs in the season.
You don't sense the energy from Cal?
You move on. Yeah.
No, I think he's tired. I think that he's disappointed, and I think that he was asked a question, and as a leader, he has to give a thorough answer. There's so many cliches in this. I mean, even if I know cliche is something that we hear all the time, but I mean, I haven't heard you got to play a full 9 all the time, right? I don't listen to a lot of post-game interviews when it comes to players. I haven't really heard that one. I've heard you got to keep your foot on the gas before. I think that he's disappointed in his team that they're not playing baseball, good baseball throughout the game or throughout a series. But I don't think that he's talking about anyone specifically. I think that it's a team type of thing. We clearly don't have the focus to get all the way through this. But then I also think a lot of it is just, I got to get through this interview. I'm here so I don't get fined. Let me go ahead and give you some sound bites. And people like us are going to dissect the heck out of this. Like, Cal probably don't even remember half the things he said in this dang interview. He probably don't remember it. And some of it, and I've done this before, some of it is true and some of it is just lip service. I'm just saying this so I can get through this interview. I can't ignore that my baseball team has not been playing some good ball. So I have to hold us accountable. But I think there's a mix of both going on.
Okay, let me bring up a follow-up then. Is a locker room, is a clubhouse in danger of losing effort or checking out a little bit when a team is struggling?
I think if you're struggling and you are at the bottom of your division or something like that, I think that you go through these laps as an athlete, as a team, to where things are going good and you're riding high and the vibes are good in the clubhouse or the locker room, and then things get bad and it gets tight in there. And the good teams find a way to get through that tightness, even if you are losing a few ball games, and especially in baseball, when you know you're going to lose a bunch of games, how do you get through it? The key here is this can't be just who you are. Every team is going to go through these ups and downs. It's worse for them because the division is trash right now. The league is trash. He's not playing well. He does look better, though. I see the big dumper. He slimmed down a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
He looks better. And you have so much potential on this team, so it's extremely disappointing. They are in a dangerous place right now, though, because you have been playing some bad ball. The Rangers are now in first place, but it's not like they're in first by a mile. It's a tricky game you have to play with your mind. And as a leader, you got to hold guys accountable, which I think he did in this interview. But I think more of the accountability comes when you're in the clubhouse talking to guys face to face.
Maybe I just saw it all as like a glass half empty kind of thing before I brought it to you, because you've had experience being in a locker room when a team struggles. I have not. So I was doing that thing of like trying to read between the lines. Here's why else, though. I kind of have two things top of mind right now. One is I always hear, including in off-the-record conversations, when I'm like, hey, does Dan Wilson, like, do guys like him? Like, how's this working out? Like, some of the in-game stuff. And I always hear, oh, he's so great with the guys. The guys really like him. And so my approach with Dan Wilson has been, as long as he still has the clubhouse, you can figure other stuff out.
Yeah.
At least for this season. As long as he's still got the clubhouse, you can figure other stuff out. However, you cannot struggle with in-game stuff and also not keep this clubhouse invested.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's happening, but I think because of that, I've just been watching that so closely and paying attention to it. The second reason is this interview we had with Ryan Rowland-Smith last week. We asked him, hey, what is a team that's struggling in danger of having happen?
There's a couple times during your afternoon workouts where if you have bad character in that clubhouse, or if you have bad leadership in the clubhouse and on the field, that this will create a cancer on the team. This will spread like wildfires and just give the worst energy possible for a team. It used to be during batting practice. Now these guys kind of have these like more individualized type sessions. But it's the conversations when you're standing around, or especially when the team's on the road right now. You get on that bus to the airport, and then you get on the plane, and you start having those conversations if you're walking back and forth on the aisle. And it's these conversations where guys start sort of pointing and trying to focus in on what is going wrong, and then they start pointing fingers. The minute that happens, man, it can be tough, because all of a sudden it's got that one or two dudes on a team, and I have played with plenty of these guys, and I've been public about it. It changes everything, because regardless of what you think of their opinion, you're going to start to believe it one way or another.
I can't imagine that's happening with the Mariners right now.
Is
But knowing that you're in danger of having that happen in any clubhouse, any locker room, anywhere when a team struggles.
There's a crazy thing about that.
Yes.
I'll keep it short. I know we got to go.
No, we're good.
Whether you're winning or losing, there's always someone having that conversation.
Of
You
like
could be,
finger pointing?
You could be winning, and you could have a guy being like, yeah, man, but I should be out there more. Like they're not using me the right way. You could be winning, all is good. You could be losing, and then
And be
that
A.J.
probably
Brown
pops
on
up
the
a bit
sideline
more.
reading a book.
Exactly.
Going,
Or Ken Walker this last year.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think regardless of whether a team's winning or losing, those conversations are happening. They just become louder and more frequent when you are losing.
Are you worried about this at all right now with the Mariners?
Not right now.
Not
Not right now.
Okay.
I think I'm a body language dude. The body language is what it should be when you're losing, but it doesn't seem like guys are turning on each other.
What are we watching for?
As far as body language?
Yeah, running it out to first base. Like
Yeah,
really
effort-
celebrating
Effort
good
on the
things.
outfield is really where you see it too. Like when you're digging, trying to get after that after a pop fly or something, and then just reactions of guys' successes and losses as they enter the dugout. Sometimes you leave guys alone because of their personalities. I get that. But that's what I look for at least.
Today's pitching matchup brought to you by Eastside Exterminators. George Kirby taking on Angels starter Ryan Johnson. We're going to switch gears, talk Seahawks here. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Are the Seahawks the most disrespected Super Bowl winner of all time? That's next.
Have you downloaded the Seattle Sports app?
We're going to have a challenge right here.
What are you waiting for?
Listen to this.
Every pitch.
Here comes the 3-2.
Every game.
Swung on and missed. Got him.
One app for free.
How about that, folks?
The Seattle Sports app. Every game.
Julio racing back.
Right in the palm of your hands.
Makes a leap and makes the catch.
Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
They got it. Wow.
The Seattle Sports app.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself and Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
He's dribbling the ball with everything on the line. He's driving down the pitch. He's facing price hikes and cuts past him. Carrier Contracts tries to block him. Oh, he leaves him in the dust. He's at the edge of the box. He cuts past the nonstop group chat trash talk. He clears on goal. He shoots. Goal! Unlimited data for $25 a month forever.
Visit your local Boost Mobile store today to get unlimited data with a price that never changes. Boost Mobile. After 30 GB, customers may experience lower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost $25 unlimited plan.
Jake was suffering from osteoarthritis when his doctors asked him to consider surgery.
However, there's a 9-month recovery period where essentially you're not walking and you're not putting much in the way of weight on.
That wasn't going to work for him, so he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I heard the ads, and that caused me to do due diligence.
And how are you doing now?
There's not really any pain now at all. I have no limitations in what I want to do.
Wow, so you're able to do anything you want to do?
I recently played golf at Cycle House down in Pebble Beach, walked 18 holes, which I hadn't been able to do for a number of years, and then went for about a 2-mile walk with my friend.
I take it you'd recommend stem cell therapy to others then?
Absolutely. Had I known then what I know now, I would have done this several years ago and saved myself a lot of pain and suffering and agony and limitation to activity.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub with exciting news. Our mid-year clearance event is on. You'll score big savings on all in-stock saltwater hot tubs and fabulous saunas. Plus, deep discounts on newly released floor model swim spas. These deals are incredible. But don't wait. Our mid-year clearance ends June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Grill math is simple. More people to feed means more food and supplies and more reasons to save big. Get more out of summer at Chef Store with warehouse savings for your restaurant, food truck, or barbecue. Open to the public, no membership required. Visit Chef Store today.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their series to the Guardians for a third consecutive series loss. That loss also dropped them to second place in the AL West standings. No off day today after a road trip. They'll open up a series here at home against the Angels tonight at 6:40 p.m. The World Cup adds a quirk to this week's schedule. The Mariners and Angels will play 2 games on Monday, Tuesday, break on Wednesday, and then pick up a series finale Thursday.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross. Here we go now.
I think I can guess the answer most Seahawks fans will have with this, which is why I'm a little more interested into what people who aren't Seahawks fans think. Now, if I were to ask Bump, you or Curtis or any of our listeners, are the Seahawks the most disrespected Super Bowl team ever? What would you say?
Most def.
Curtis?
In the mix, in the convo.
Hell yeah.
I know. Ian's already nodding. So that's why, and I think so too, but that's why I think it's interesting when it's someone who has no skin in the game, right? And that's ESPN's Kevin Clark, Miami grad, not a Seahawks fan, but he came to the defense of the Seahawks on NFL Live.
Normally, I would laugh at a nobody believes in us, I have a chip on my shoulder gimmick from a Super Bowl champion. In this case, it is incredibly valid. The Seahawks are on the short list for most disrespected Super Bowl champions of my lifetime. I think the Eli Giants are on that list twice. I think that the Von Miller, Peyton Manning Broncos are on that list. But it feels like the day after the Super Bowl, we started a new conversation about everybody but the Seahawks.
Here's why I love this take. The teams he mentioned had comparatively, in the case of the Giants, a worse season than the Seahawks, who won as a wild card. I don't remember if it was both times, certainly first time. Or the Broncos, who were losing Peyton Manning, right? Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that year's Broncos team, 2015 Broncos, Von Miller, best defense in the league that year. They weren't bringing back Peyton, and Peyton by then was not the thing carrying them to a Super Bowl. But
Peyton was
I get it,
wobbly.
Exactly, and I get it. And you know what? The Broncos didn't make the playoffs for 8 more years. That was it. The Giants, I also get this. The Seahawks aren't those teams, though. So I agree with Kevin that they're being disrespected, and I find it so interesting that they're being treated the way that those other teams were, which congratulations on winning the Super Bowl, but weren't putting up the numbers the Seahawks did.
Yeah, I went all the way back to 2002. All right, Baltimore beat New York, one of the greatest defenses of all time. High expectations for them. New England the next year, you got Tom Brady. Tampa Bay, another great defense in New England and Pittsburgh and all, and the Giants or whatnot. It's I think it's because of the style. If you look back at, let's say, like the last 5 Super Bowl champions minus the Seahawks, Philly, Saquon Barkley, 2,000 yards. Offense is great. Defense is on point. Kansas City, the next 2 years, you got Pat Mahomes. The Rams, L.A., Matthew Stafford in the game. Aaron Darnold. Year before that, you got Tom Brady, right? Why can't Tom Brady do it again? You got Kansas City, New England, Tom Brady again in Philly, right? If you look at just the teams who have won, if you take away just the Seahawks and Tampa Bay, these are what people assume will be repeat offenders, right? They will get there year by year. Why? Because they have marquee names. If you go back to the Legion of Boom, why did people think that they were going to get back? It was because of that defense, even though I feel like Sam Darnold had even equivalent or a little better year than Russell Wilson had with that team. I also think it's because of what's around the Seahawks is why they're being disrespected. And what's around the Seahawks is Matthew Stafford coming back, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. You still have the 49ers with Shanahan. They're still picked like top 5 or 6 to make a run at this thing. I think the division has a lot to do with it because people, at least people outside of here, think that because of the division, you have to play these teams twice. It's going to be that much harder for these guys to do it again. People think they got lucky against the Rams. I was on the Salk show this morning and said, if y'all want to hear a reason why they didn't get lucky, go back to when Stacy went off on them and told people this is why it wasn't lucky. The Rams just didn't finish the job, and the Hawks took advantage of that situation. I think there's a lot surrounding this division, and then you just look at the quarterback on this team, and people don't think it can be done again. I look at Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy does not have a big personality. He doesn't have a big arm. He's not big in stature. Yet for some reason, people lean on Brock Purdy a bit more than Sam Darnold. Brock has put together, 3 or 4 really good seasons. He's been to the Super Bowl before, but he hasn't won one, but he gets the benefit of the doubt. He also isn't working with the defense that this team has. But for some reason, people lean towards Brock Purdy a bit more than Sam Darnold. There's a lot of things going on with this. You're tucked away in the Northwest. You have a head coach that isn't the flashy Sean McVay or the low-key arrogant Mike Shanahan or Kyle Shanahan, which I ain't mad at. Be arrogant. I appreciate it to some extent. But there are so many things affecting this team that they forget that they have the best offensive player in the league. You're bringing back one of the best, not the best defense we've seen in a very long time. And you have a culture and a structure here that is proven to work. I don't get it. I understand the arguments for one other team, but it's like if you mention that team, you have to mention the defending champs in the same sentence.
You know what's interesting about the Seahawks? They do not have, despite being in first place finish in the NFC West, so playing that first place schedule and winning a Super Bowl, they don't have the hardest strength of schedule this upcoming season in the NFC West. In fact, they have the second easiest. It is not an easy schedule, but it's an easier schedule than the Rams and the Cardinals. I don't hear strength of schedule mentioned often. There's so much faith in the Rams that I think people, but yes, the Seahawks have to get through a tough division, but it is not a battle that their opponents don't also have to face. So that's my first thing. It's okay, but the Rams have a tougher strength of schedule. They also have to dig out of the NFC West. They also have to play. They have to do the same thing. I think that the number one thing is Sam, right? Like you said, you look at the teams where people have not questioned them, and they've been betting favorites to get back. It's the teams with quarterback answers and head coach or OC answers. Rams, Chiefs, right? I think
Philly.
I think people weren't taking Seattle seriously at all in 2024. Seattle won 10 games, and I don't think people saw them as a team that was ascending. And maybe if they would have won 10 games with Sam Darnold and then come back with another year, and people would have been like, oh, maybe they go from here. But they won 10 games, lost Geno and DK, and I think that people outside of Seattle thought those 10 games, those 10 wins, were because of Geno and DK, or at least in large part. So that 2024, where they still were fairly successful at times, didn't count to people. And that's what made 2025 feel flukish.
Well, yeah, I get that, right? You lose DK, he's gone, Tyler's gone, Gino's gone. Names that people are familiar with aren't there. And then you look at a 5'11", 6-foot receiver, and you're asking yourself, is he really capable of doing it? And for some reason, people think K9's hurt all the dang time when he's hurt on average, like the average running back gets hurt. And they don't believe it can be done. I get the doubt. I get people not believing that they're capable of going to the Super Bowl again. I understand that because it's so hard to do. It's rare that you even do it. So I understand that. But it's also like, come on, man, most of this team is coming back. And you've seen and you've heard, right? We heard Phillip Rivers talk about it. I've heard another quarterback talk about it, how confusing this defense is. Right? You have future Hall of Famers talking about how confusing this defense is. And yet you're not giving them the benefit of the doubt to at least start there and say, if they're going to bring back a defense that can do these things to these quarterbacks mentally, they should have a chance in every game.
Mm-hmm.
And I get K9 not being back, Arik being back, but that happens every year with Super Bowl champions. It happens. But for some reason, the Hawks don't get the love that I think they deserve. And it's for multiple reasons, and you feel the way you feel. But just don't – I saw a list with a top 5 to get to the Super Bowl, and the Hawks weren't on it.
That's
if you're
what I'm
putting together
saying.
any list, top 5, and the Hawks are not on that list, I need to sit down and have a conversation with you because it's completely disrespectful.
That's exactly what it is for me. So the Super Bowl before the Seahawks went on to face the Patriots, Eagles beat the Chiefs. Eagles were favorites to get to the Super Bowl again. Everyone knew that getting to a Super Bowl would be very, very difficult. Everyone knew Saquon Barkley was incredibly unlikely to repeat the season he just did, but they were still favorites to get there. People still saw them as being a team full of Pro Bowlers and All-Pros and clearly a very good team. Seattle's not even a favorite?
No.
Not even a favorite.
It's all good, though. I like operating in this
And the thing is,
climate.
the Eagles also had better odds than Kansas City, who obviously have Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like they had, I think, a more sure answer at quarterback, head coach, and play caller. But the Eagles had just won. So people looked at that. Odds makers in Vegas looked at that and said, this is a very good team.
Here's what I can say, too, though. The Hawks, we talk about who they are on paper and their coach and all that stuff and what's coming back and what can be done. But they also got to earn it, too, right? This group has to look competitive next year. I think that if this group looks competitive next year, maybe makes it to the playoffs, conference championship, maybe even the Super Bowl, then with Sam Darnold as their quarterback, with Mike McDonald as their head coach and other pieces in place, then I think it's undeniable because I feel like that was the same thing that happened to the Legion of Boom. Is like, all right, they're a good team. Can they do it again? And then after that second year, obviously they didn't go back to the Super Bowl. But year after year after year, they were contenders. They were in the mix, and they got more respect. Well, this is a whole different regime here. Right? They have to earn some of this. I think they earned enough to be in top 5s when you start talking about the best teams in the game. But I also think that, all right, put another year together, show that this formula it definitely works, right? Third time's a charm. If you can put together 3 good years with his coaching staff, 2 years with his quarterback, then it's undeniable. But because over the last, 8 seasons, it's been so up and down, people just view this team as up and down.
And I think that that's very real. I don't think it's so. David in Shoreline says, when it comes to national commentary, we should remind ourselves that for pundits, their main currency isn't knowledge or even facts. It's creating controversy. Consider the source, which is true. But, right, creating a conversation, and it's like inherent to sports talk and debate, is like have a take, have an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there is a very real dismissal. And I had someone else text in joking, like, oh my God, I'm so tired of this conversation. I'm not. I think it's interesting. I think it's very interesting. And I think Kevin Clark's right. I don't think it's a normal level of like, Bill Barnwell joked that like no team feels adequately respected after a Super Bowl. Like, no matter what, there's going to be someone who comes in. And,
nah.
Sure. But, like, I think
disagree with that.
I think this is interesting. I think it is fascinating that the Seahawks, wire to wire, were certainly the best defense and one of the best teams by DVOA. They are historically one of the best Super Bowl winners by DVOA. That was not with an easy schedule. It was playing the second team in DVOA, the Rams, 3 times and winning 2 out of 3. And they're kind of dismissed. I think that's just I think it's interesting. I'm sorry. I know you might be tired of hearing it, but I can't stop asking why and talking about it. it's a fascinating commentary about how we talk about sports.
Tradition and market, I think, determine that. The last 7 or 8 seasons, we've had the Patriots tradition. We had Philly market. We've had L.A. market, Kansas City tradition, and then you sprinkle in little old Seattle and Tampa Bay. And even with Tampa Bay, they probably thought they had another shot because Tom Brady was there. He brings eyes to that situation over there. It's what are we, the 12th largest market in the country over here?
Around there, media market.
All right, media market. I think that has something to do with it, and I think that they got to go out there and earn it. And if I'm Mike McDonald, I'm talking about the disrespect. We've heard the players talk about the disrespect, but I'm also saying, let's go out there and earn it. And then, you know what? I scratch that. If I'm Mike McDonald, I'm saying earn it. If I'm Mike McDonald, we're saying we don't care about what people think. We don't care. We're going to go out and do our thing. And if the national media is talking about that, then it's a real thing.
Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
Going inside the game, and this time all games. We're going to kind of take a look around at several leagues here. So first down, stay with the NFL, or at least a former NFL player. Why does Tom Brady continue to make you like him even more?
I like him. He talks about the fining in the NFL. He said, what job do you show up, you make a mistake at work, and they fine you? $75,000, give me that. He goes, you can have a salary of $1 million. You get fined $75,000. That's going to hit the pockets. I wouldn't get paid that much. If I got fined $20,000, it was going to hurt. And I think he's right. I think because of the violence of the game, people want to see justice. I'm doing air quotes when guys have illegal hits or do something that's unfair. I think that there should be a scale. One, how much are you getting paid? How many times have you made that mistake? And what is the offense in general? But how much you're getting paid should affect what that fine is. I make a mistake on this show every single day. I might say the wrong word. I might mix a word up, mix up a stat. I ain't getting fined $100 after the show because mistakes are going to happen. I get trying to protect players. That's why those fines are there. But what hurts the most is when a guy's getting paid $700,000 a year and you're going to take off $75,000 off his check.
Yeah.
It ain't the same as Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett he'll wipe that with his, you know what, that $75K. He will write you a personalized check and throw an extra $10K on that thing.
And he'll forget he gave it to you.
Man, Tom Brady, you're absolutely right about that.
Second down. What's your favorite story from the World Cup so far?
Man, I love this. Well, growing up, I watched all the World Cups, right? And the African teams never did well, and a lot of them didn't even qualify for the World Cup. Going into the knockout stages, 9 of the 10 African teams made it to the round of 32. A couple have lost already, but still, it's just it's kind of cool to see that, man, the way the game has grown in other countries. You got Cape Verde get into the, here we go. Brazil just tied it up 1-1. See Cape Verde get into the mix as well. It's just cool to see different nations. Iran almost making it to the knockout stages. Japan getting into the round of 32. You got Canada making it to the round of 16 for the first time in their nation's history. This has been one of the more entertaining World Cups so far.
Third down. What was the best thing you saw from the NHL?
The kid's name, Beckett Senex, I believe his name is, getting drafted 3rd overall, and his reaction, because he was not expecting himself to get drafted 3rd overall. His mom, his dad, I believe his sister was there too. It brought back just the pure joy, because a lot of the times guys 1 through 10 know. Like, I'm probably going 7, probably going 8. It looked like he thought he was going like 20th or something like that. Because the way he reacted in shock, he stood up slowly, he's looking around, his dad is in shock, his mom is crying. I love that. I love the draft because you get to see people realize their dreams. But some of these dudes have known for a couple years that they're going to be a top 5 pick. That was just different. It was pure. It was joy, and I loved it. I believe the Ducks got him, so now I have a kid that I'm going to follow.
You have, before I get to the last one, a quick response to your first down. You talked about Tom Brady advocating that there not be such severe fines for penalties, especially on, a defensive guy that just got elevated from the practice squad, whatever. Someone said, well, it shouldn't be money related at all. They should be benched. Do you agree?
I think benching should come with it if they're repeat offenders. I think money does affect the risks that they're willing to take, though.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the money. I just think that sometimes it's a bit too much.
Like it needs to be a sliding scale.
Sliding scale for sure.
Fourth down. What's the best thing that could happen in the NBA?
So this is this rumor time of the year when it comes to the NBA. You got Giannis going to the Heat. You got LaMelo going to Minnesota. That's going to be interesting. LaMelo and Anthony Edwards together, they're going to be menaces out there. Good luck to you, Minnesota, keeping those two in check. But the best thing that could happen to the NBA is if LeBron goes to New York. And I've heard rumors about LeBron going to New York and the Lakers trying to get Josh Hart and OG. Probably not going to happen. But I think that would be the best thing for the NBA. Because you imagine LeBron James at Madison Square Garden, 40-something times a year, and the eyes that will be on that team, especially coming after the year that they had.
NBA is going to be rooting bad for that to happen.
It's going to be chaos over there. I think that would be the best thing for the NBA. And get LeBron out the West, so I don't have to deal with him anymore. I would love for him to be on the Lakers again, but I think we can start building around Luka and get some younger guys there. But LeBron to New York, I mean, the NBA would love that. It's not going to happen. I think it's going to end up probably Golden State, Cleveland, or just be back with the Lakers. There are rumors about LeBron going to New York. I'm not buying it, but that'd be cool to see.
What's the biggest move so far? What move league-wide in the NBA is going to have the biggest impact?
Impact? I think Giannis to the Heat eventually. I think this year they're going to be okay. They need a couple more pieces to build around. I think LaMelo to Minnesota is going to be interesting because Anthony Edwards has a legit second option he can go to. During the playoffs, it was all about Anthony Edwards. If he didn't put up 45, it was going to be a wrap. That's essentially what New York did with Bronson. But I think that it's harder out in the West to even get to the NBA Finals. So that can do some things. I still think the Spurs and OKC are going to run that thing for the next couple of years. But that's the one that's most intriguing to me because those personalities, they're just both some outgoing, big personality type of dudes.
Hey, I want to get back to that conversation about punishments or discipline for I guess I'm using dirty plays in quotes. It's just getting a little bit of a response, and so I want to revisit it for just our final 2 minutes here. I always think about Dave Wyman, who obviously was a linebacker, and there were people that thought he had like a dirty play, saying it's really hard. Like, it's so much harder than you think, and it also really sucks to be the defensive player that's being labeled as a dirty player when you're absolutely not. Can you tell when it's a dirty play? Because I think that what I'm saying is I think that a lot of people are confident they can tell it's a dirty play, but really what you're doing is seeing an opposing defender, a player on another team do something, and you're like, I hate that guy. That was dirty. Like, how obvious is it to players that a play's dirty?
Nah, you can tell.
Really? What's a dirty play?
A dirty play.
What's someone doing when it's clearly a dirty play?
You're tackling low, you're rolling and pulling, trying to jack up ankles and knees. You're just clearly head hunting, like you're launching at a guy. The thing about launching too is that you're trying to protect yourself too out there, which is hard in football because, believe it or not, as a receiver or a person that's running or catching the football, there are sometimes where we have the advantage, we have the leverage, we have the angle, and if that defender does not hit us as hard as he can, he's going to lose that battle. Maybe he gets hurt. So it's a thin line, and to ask these guys to make these split decisions, it's like run across the 405 right now, and that's what it feels like in a football game. It's moving so fast. You got to keep your head on the swivel. But there are guys who are dirty. What's that dude from the Bengals? He's a dirty you-know-what.
Perfect?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Dirty you-know-what.
And Ndamukong Suh got some flack,
He's
too.
dirty as heck. You see it. You see when they're dirty.
Okay. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Everyone has a different answer to the question of, hey, when did you feel like the Seahawks could win the Super Bowl? But Byron Murphy might have everyone beat for the earliest. That's next.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
The Mariners have now scored 3 runs or fewer in 11 consecutive games. So what's the deal?
Yeah, you don't have a Mariner on pace to hit 30 home runs. A lot of frustration on that overnight text toy. Why there's a lot of frustration in the socials.
Because you know that as bad as and as bleak as things are today, the sun will come out tomorrow, if you'll excuse the Annie reference.
Sun will come out tomorrow.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. When people come first.
After years of wear and tear, Joe had osteoarthritis in his wrists and shoulders.
I've pretty much worked out my whole life. I actually decided I'm going to train for a half Ironman triathlon.
The pain was interfering with every part of his life.
Basically, can't sleep, causing those kind of problems, very limited movement.
Joe had surgery, but it wasn't the fix he was looking for.
The doctor told me, he's like, hey, this is just going to be a partial fix. You're going to eventually need joint replacement.
That's when he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
And they're just getting better. I can basically do full motion. I don't have really any pain.
What kinds of things are you able to do now that you weren't before?
I like to golf, and it definitely has made my golf game not as painful. And sleeping. I'm sleeping better because I don't have that aching at night going on and having to roll over.
So, are you recommending this to others?
Oh, everybody I talk to. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change presents Wisdom from the Road.
Summer means wide open spaces and a whole lot of extra miles. The last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. Out here, low oil or a weak battery is just an ambush waiting to happen. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check. These techs are trained to help spot issues early and keep you riding easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
Summer is here, and it's time to break through your weight loss frustrations. Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and we have a proven system that can help you lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 8 weeks. Whether you need a nutrition plan to complement your GLP injections, or you're like many of our clients who don't want to worry about ongoing monthly costs, giving yourself shots, or uncomfortable side effects. Either way, our program provides the support, accountability, and structured nutrition plan so you can achieve your results for the long term. Schedule your free phone consult at eastsideweightlossklinik.com.
Look, this plan does work. It's Mike Salk here, and I used Eastside Weight Loss Clinic to lose 35 pounds. Just recently, I heard about one of our listeners who lost 40 pounds. How about that? The plan will teach you lifelong habits to continue eating the food you love while losing weight.
We've helped over 4,000 people lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 8 weeks. Come to our clinic in Kirkland or do the program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free phone consultation online at eastsideweightlossklinik.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Summer's here, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have the all-new 2026 Toyota Tacoma SR5, ready for every adventure you've got planned. Right now, during summer savings, lease a new Tacoma for just $299 a month for 36 months or finance at 3.99% APR for 48 months plus $500 TFS finance cash. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Offers valid through June 30th, 2026 on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, dealer accessories, and a $200 negotiable dealer documentation fee.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart.
I lost my job. I lost my wife. I lost the house. I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio. I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax relief advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now, that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Bump, when did you know the Seahawks would be a Super Bowl team?
When...
Or I should say could be.
Thursday night.
Okay, so you knew they could be on Thursday night.
Yeah.
When did you know they would win a Super Bowl? Like, when did you feel most confident?
When they beat the Rams in the conference championship.
Okay, so a little bit later. And then you were like, I'm feeling
let's go
good.
either way.
Okay.
This game go either way.
Curtis, what about you? When did you think that they could win a Super Bowl?
I would say after they just absolutely destroyed the 49ers in the divisional
Oh, so it took a little bit later. Okay.
Oh, that's when I thought they could absolutely.
Like you're most confident.
Yeah, like they were going to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Could win the Super Bowl.
Maybe a little earlier.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
The Rams game in the regular season, I think that was the biggest indicator.
Similar answers for all of us. That Thursday night game against the Rams, where you just needed to know you could beat the Rams, and then depending on for Curtis, it was dominating the 49ers. For Bump, it was once they punched their ticket to the Super Bowl, he was confident that they were going to win it. Byron Murphy was answering that same question. He might have us all beat for when he was confident.
What part of the season would you say that you felt that y'all could be Super Bowl champions?
Man, I knew week one.
Okay, talk about it. Even despite the loss in week one, you still talk about it.
Season opener, man, just seeing how we played and seeing how we lost that game. I'm talking about, like, man, I'm on the bench. I looked to my teammate, Lennon Williams, man. Shout out Big Cat. I looked at him. I'm telling him, like, bro, like, we're going to the Super Bowl. And he kind of looked at me. He was just looking at me. I'm like, bro, we're going to the Super Bowl, bro. Trust me. Like, I see I could just see the vision. I could see the team. Like, I could see how we play. Like, the way we play, the style we play with. I'm like, bro, we're going to the Super Bowl. Like, we got something special here. And then, like, as time went on, as the season went on, we just winning games. You know, we lost 3 games. But, like, them 3, I feel like we should have won undefeated. But we lost, ended up losing 3 games. But I feel like them 3 games that we lost really what helped, like, built us and shaped us into becoming that championship team. But I knew, like, just deep down since week 1, I knew we were going to the Super Bowl. And we did that.
Bump, here's what I love about this. I'm so glad he set the scene as, hey, I'm on the bench. I'm looking at Big Cat, and I say we're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm glad that we know kind of that he said it out loud. Because imagine you are a football player. You don't have to imagine hard. Imagine you're a football player. You're in a game, week 1. The offense isn't clicking. You're not running the ball. The 49ers are beating you. And your teammate turns to you and goes, we're going to win the Super Bowl. I would think he was kidding.
I'm looking at the stats from that game. So the Niners ran for 119. They threw for 277. Ricky Pearsall, rookie, 108. Is he rookie or second year? 108. Chris McCaffrey had over 100 yards total. You look at the other side, threw for 150, no touchdown, no interceptions. Rushed for 84 and had 150 yards rushing 150 yards passing, 84 yards rushing. JSN had 124.
Got outplayed.
So I'm thinking, all right, what did he see that made him think, all right, we can do this? And I think it might have been a combination of things. I think it was holding Christian McCaffrey to 69 yards. So, like, look, it's one of the best running backs in the game. This is what we did. You had 2 interceptions against Brock Purdy. JSN went for 124 on his own. All right, we got our number 1 receiver. And then you only had 1 sack. But it's deeper than the numbers. I think it's more of the feel. I'm sure he's sitting on that bench and thinking, hey, you know, they got us with this play here, but we got them over there. Let me see what third downs look like. I mean, I'm sure he's going based off of feel. I'm looking at numbers and trying to make it make sense. If I look at the numbers, I would be like, I don't know, man. I would have waited to see like 3 or 4 games to see if this team was capable. But it was something that he felt, and maybe it was the way that they handled that loss and the way they were communicating about the loss on the sideline that made him believe that we're going to be just fine.
It is just interesting to be like, I love the response of the interviewer going, okay, and tell me more because you lost.
Yeah, lost. Talk about it.
Talk about it. Talk about it because you lost that game, 17-13. Talk about it, though.
That was like a brutal loss, too. To get sacked on the last play and then just turn to your teammate and be like,
Yes.
no, actually, we're gonna win every game after this.
And you know what? They only lost twice more. So Byron's right. Okay, next story, sticking with the Seahawks here. Gray Zabel shared his first few weeks in the NFL were bumpy, but ultimately he got things under control.
All training camp, the first 2 weeks, I thought I was getting cut. Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, Jaron Reed, those guys, I couldn't block them. It was just a free pass to a quarterback whenever the play was called. And I remember calling my dad, and I'm like, Dad, this isn't good. Like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Like, I'm going to get a desk job. I'm going to work in the cubicle. Like, that's going to be my life. Like, I couldn't do it. And then kind of started catching stride like week 3 and like understanding the tempo and the pace and the speed that it's played at. And then it just keeps on working and working. And then you get into that first game. And this was my true welcome to the NFL moment. It's like the first or second play of the game, and it was a pass play. Dude just bull rushes me and puts me right into Drew Lock. And I'm like, Drew, thanks for getting the ball out. Like, appreciate that. Yeah. And then it was like, you kind of like wake up and you're like, all right, like I go against 3 of the best interior D linemen in the National Football League every single day in practice. Like, just take a deep breath. And from there, it was okay. But yeah, that was that like first or second play against the Raiders game. I just got worked.
I'm just talking preseason there, obviously. But listen, Gray, there's no way you thought you were getting cut.
There ain't no way in hell he thought he was getting cut.
There's no way.
No, this is for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sure he had some bad days where he got dominated a couple times. Welcome to the NFL, rookie. But great, he's too confident and worked too hard to think that he was going to get cut. I thought that he doubted himself a couple of times. Like, this isn't as easy as I thought it was going to be, or I need to work on some things. But if you're going up against arguably one of the, if not the best defensive lines in the game every single day, you're going to get got. This is good for a podcast, though.
Yeah, it was a great story. Maybe a little, I agree. It's like, great, there's no way. But I thought it was otherwise pretty vulnerable and interesting to hear, because I do wonder if, like, look, you're a guy coming out of North Dakota State, phenomenal Senior Bowl, like, you're doing everything right, but there's got to be a tiny part of you that goes, well, what if people are right and that I didn't face all these SEC schools all the time and all these Big Ten schools all the time? Like, what if I'm not going to be able to handle top level talent here? Like, I wonder if there was just not imposter syndrome per se, but just the tiniest bit of like you internalizing what scouts worry about. So I don't know.
Cap. I don't believe it now one bit. I think you have bad days.
With how much trash he talks?
Yeah, you have bad days, and you're like, man, that was tough.
Yeah.
But you watch the film, he's a different breed. He's not, I don't believe that at all.
Next up, a clip that's gone viral. Jason Robertson turned down the Kraken. It was a huge storyline in the NHL over draft weekend. Toronto Sportsnet 590 hypothesized that perhaps stereotypes about the city of Seattle played into Robertson's decision.
Jordan Kyrou didn't want to come. Robert Thomas didn't want to come. Panarin didn't want to come. And now Robertson doesn't want to come.
How has all this gotten out?
How is this helping? How is this helping Seattle when their fan base is going, are we a bunch of losers?
Well,
nobody wants to go to Seattle.
Who's putting this out there? Is it Seattle trying to defend themselves? Hey, we're trying here?
That's a good question.
Because it looks really bad.
Really bad.
And hey, I put out a tweet yesterday. I was like, I like Seattle. You know, as a kid, we used to go to games at Safeco.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You know, you go down to the water. It's gorgeous. But I put out a tweet. I like Seattle. I've never received more messages from people being like, hey, where the players actually arrive and go to and from the rink, it is a tough look.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous area.
Yeah. And they're like, it does not feel like a place that people go experience in the Pacific Northwest when you go visit.
Now listen. I have my own complaints about Seattle that I will set aside. I'm local. Well, I'm from SeaTac. But, like, every single person can think of where they're from and go, oh, I'd like if this, this, and this were different. We're talking about Queen Anne.
A newly renovated arena.
A newly renovated arena in Queen Anne. Seattle, in that area in Seattle, is kind of like, you know, when like rich people wear, like they dress down, but they're actually wearing like Pendleton and Patagonia and really expensive things. That's Seattle. You're talking about condos over $1 million, apartments like over $3,500, $4,000, just because it looks like, oh, what's over here? Seattle's an incredibly affluent area.
The Kraken don't play on 3rd and Pine.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They don't
aren't
play
by
in
that
Pioneer
McDonald's,
Square.
man. Yeah, like there's definitely areas that are shady for sure. You're talking about Queen Anne, and you aren't from here. You don't live here. You're
Toronto.
pandering.
You're the other side of North America.
You're just pandering. You're going, well, some people on Twitter told me maybe they don't live here either, man. Like, I don't know. You're going to take their word for it?
Yeah, and I'm looking at their practice facility is pretty nice too. You know, like it's I don't know. I think maybe that's something that was thrown out there and someone just ran with it.
Yes.
And you know that goes, man. Yeah, that's what I think that what happened there.
I just like the
Makes no sense to
idea.
me.
Well, maybe the danger, you know, the danger of living there.
They drive past a pottery studio to get into their parking lot, and then they take a tunnel from the parking lot into the stadium. They're not even above ground.
Yeah, they're not catching a bus to go.
They're not taking the D line.
Not like Jonathan Gannon, who took the bus here. Like, no one's taking the bus anywhere to get to this facility. And
you know what? Take the light road. I did it for the first time this Friday. And
It's fun.
It's actually pretty pleasant.
I'll tell you what players are thinking about. It is not the streets of Seattle. They're thinking about, am I going to win with the Kraken?
Right.
No, I don't think I will. Then I don't want that contract. I'd rather stay here in Dallas where I can win and get the same money.
Get more money.
Get more
You
money.
might get
Thank
more
you.
money.
That's exactly what that's about. Don't make it more than it is. Well, that's that on that. Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners start a 3-game home series against the Angels. Pregame starts at 5:30 p.m. First pitch at 6:40 on Seattle Sports. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. I just saw a really fascinating tweet from Luke Arkins, and it reminded me of the biggest thing missing from the Mariners right now. That's next.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob.
Is Sam Darnold worth $55 million a year?
Afternoons 2 to 7.
I think he's worth it. I do too. That's going to be a low-sounding number here very quickly. He's not an ego guy who's going to be, let me cook, let me chuck it all over the yard. I don't think he is going to think, hey, I deserve $55 million. I think he's willing to work for that. Similar results next year, then we'll start talking about that.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
One thing you may not know about your boy is that I was pretty nice on the soccer pitch bump here. With football taking over our region this summer, it makes me think back on my love for the sport. I'm excited to hear about our listeners getting to the matches and falling in love with the sport, too. I love hearing from our listeners who make the trip up to Silver Reef Casino Resort. I'm telling you guys, it's a hidden gem in the Northwest. This summer is perfect for a quick road trip where you can just enjoy your destination. Or book a tee time at Loomis Trails Golf Course and spend the night at Silver Reef. Make a weekend out of it, or just take a personal day and enjoy the nice weather. You deserve it. Relax in a deluxe room and enjoy a meal at the steakhouse. Have some fun at their sports restaurant and enjoy the Cantina, authentic Mexican restaurant. I love the burritos. I love the quesadillas. Plenty of reasons to go up there, and I haven't even mentioned a spa yet. I've done that too. Take some time out and just relax. Book your stay at silverreefcasino.com, Silver Reef Casino Resort, silverreefcasino.com.
June is Men's Health Month, and Swedish Cyberknife is encouraging men to talk about their own health with family members and medical professionals. Swedish Cyberknife can effectively treat conditions like prostate cancer, which can run in the family. Swedish Cyberknife requires only 5 short treatments, each lasting less than an hour. To learn more about Cyberknife for prostate cancer treatment, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Get more baseball for your buck with Mariners value options. Tickets for less than $12 to select games all season, and the biggest ever value menu and beer lineup, featuring 36 items and available every game. Check it out at mariners.com/value.
Today, we tip our wrench to Rock Auto customer Dylan.
I actually used to manage a parts department for a car dealership, and we would get stuff from Rock Auto if I couldn't get it from my dealership suppliers. You pick the year, you go through all the drop-down menus, and it just makes it really easy to navigate and see what you want. Like a wheel bearing, for instance, for a Corvair that I have. Rock Auto's catalog made it really easy to find that specific one that I was looking for.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub with exciting news. Our mid-year clearance event is on. You'll score big savings on all in-stock saltwater hot tubs and fabulous saunas. Plus, deep discounts on newly released floor model swim spas. These deals are incredible. But don't wait. Our mid-year clearance ends June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Mariners had 14 hits yesterday. Finally got more than 3 runs. We did it, and yet they couldn't pull out the win. And I think that there's something really important missing from this team, and so does Bump. So let's talk about it. I saw a tweet from Luke Arkins, great analysis, and he posted the change year over year in slugging percentage league-wide so far. So the teams that have added the most slug compared to last year, Pirates, White Sox, Nationals, Giants, which is fascinating, and Rockies. So it's not strongly correlated with success, though it's certainly boosted the success of certain teams. White Sox a great candidate here. Then that same graph looks at the biggest declines in slugging percentage year over year. In this group of the 5 worst are the Mets at number 1, the Diamondbacks at number 2, Blue Jays, who were just swept by the Rangers, are also part of this group, and the Red Sox having an abysmal season. The Seattle Mariners, number 3. The third biggest decline in slugging percentage year over year. Bump, that's what's missing.
That is what's missing. I mean, you've been beating that drum for a while.
As of you.
Yeah, it's I mean, that and just being good with runners in scoring position. Like, goodness gracious. I just looked up their batting average and runners in scoring position. Guess where they are, Stacy? Bottom of the league. Bottom of the league. You play the game to score runs. You can't do that if you don't slug, and you're not good with runners in scoring position. Your on base percentage is decent, but no, there's that's like the bridge. You know, they just fixed the I-5 bridge over here. You know, I don't know what areas it.
The one going northbound.
One going
like,
north.
Yeah, but then they're going to put that construction back. It drives me crazy.
Hey, well, you know what? They fixed it. It rides smoother. It looks better now. That's the bridge that is missing right now. The slugging is that bridge when it's under construction. It narrows. It's frustrating. You got to go 10 miles an hour for a mile or whatnot. That's when it feels like this team is when it comes to slugging. And what is it? Because I think you pointed out. I think I was listening to Goldie saying that Julio's been struggling this month, but he's been hitting the ball hard. You know, it's like, all right, that sounds good, but now let's hit the ball hard and find some gaps or whatnot. It just feels like whenever there is an issue with this team in the batter's box, there's a stat you can point to that says it's going to be okay, but then waiting for it to be okay is a frustrating part.
Well, and look, like, it's really encouraging that they got so many runners on. And you know when you kind of like try to take the positives from negative things, like runners stranded, especially that many, is so incredibly frustrating, but not nearly as frustrating as having one hit.
Yeah.
Seeing your lineup get 4 flyouts in a game is frustrating. Doesn't feel quite as ugly as 4 strikeouts in a game. So like there's certain things where I'm like, okay, I feel like you're halfway there. You just got to finish this. And I think that power needs to come from Cal, where it's not coming, and Julio, and Randy, where he's actually been pretty good there. But like, as fun as Luke Raley's story has been, I'm not going to look at Luke Raley as like, well, that's where the pop's coming from. Like, he's a great part of a platoon that you have, but like, Cal needs to bring more power. Cal, it's great that he's been trying to be more patient and getting those walks and finding ways to help his team without just swinging for the fences. But also, he still needs to have power. Yeah. And the singles and the walks aren't going to cut it.
No, that's a tough part. It's bad with Cal when you get excited when he hits a little blooper because he's jammed inside and it falls in between, with third base and in the left field. It's like, all right, there's signs of life. At least he got his hands in tight and fought through that and put it in play and gave himself an opportunity. But we know how this goes. This team is not the team that we can expect it to be if Cal's not doing it. That's why when we listen to his clip, him talking about holding himself and guys accountable, our first thought was, are you doing that for yourself? Like,
I'd have to think so.
Who's holding you accountable? Is there anyone who talks to Cal about that on the team, not just coaches or those guys? I'm talking about a player on the team who is talking through this. And then that's tough about baseball too, is how do you hold guys accountable? If you see a guy every single day getting extra hacks, showing up early, making sure his body's on point, and he's just not performing, what do you do? Because this isn't football where there's assignment errors where you're like, you got to be at your spot.
Yeah. Or
you just have to catch that ball. You got to make that tackle. No, this is the most skilled game in the world where sometimes things just aren't clicking. So you could see a guy put in all that work and it's just not clicking for him. How do you handle that?
I think it's with Cal mostly mental. This is me purely guessing, not with insight. I think it's mental, and then I think there is like a little bit of still a sprinkle of oblique injuries are hard to monitor, and there have been hits he's had, even when he's gotten like contact that's pretty decent, when you're like, that's a home run last year. Like that middle that was like a fly out or that, whatever, that was a strikeout, like that's gone last year. And I actually I'm desperate for encouragement right now. So 100 and whatever off the bat yesterday to center for his final out. I was like, okay, well, see if he can turn it on. But yeah, they need to add more slugging, and ideally Cal, Julio, Canzone, right? Like there are just certain guys where you kind of have to turn to it from them. And I desperately hope they do because that's what's missing right now.
We need Joshy Boy back too, man. Josh Nader.
Yeah.
We need him back.
Yeah.
I like him leaning into the pitch the other day, and then him and the catcher going at it. You see that?
Yeah.
I mean, no one likes you.
No one likes you. That's
What's
my
that to do with
nightmare. That's
anything?
my nightmare.
What does that have to do with him leaning into a pitch? No one likes you?
No, because if someone told me no one likes you, it would destroy me. So maybe that's what Austin was trying to do. I don't know. All right. We have a lot of follow-up questions here from well, if they're missing slugging, how do they get that back? And plenty of other injury updates with Seattle Times' Adam Jude next.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Hi, Andy Klein here. There's something special about a baseball game. The moments and the memories. At Klein Jewelers, that's exactly how we feel about our diamonds. They're a beautiful reminder of life's biggest moments. We're here to help you find the perfect diamond or beautiful piece of jewelry to celebrate your engagement, anniversary, birthday, promotion, or just because. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Shine with Klein.
Your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing love telling you no. No high-pressure sales pitches. No Band-Aid fixes that will fail come wintertime. No outrageous pricing from some corporate-owned roofing company with headquarters thousands of miles from here. 3 Tree Roofing is local, family-owned, and their team will build you a worry-free plan for your roof replacement, completely free. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and call today to say yes to an additional $500 discount. That's 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Rick Riz here for the Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington's Improve Your Play program. Many of our local youth sports teams need help with field enhancements, training, and equipment. Local Pella owners Keith Dashafy and Luke Wilson are stepping up to donate $5,000 to 2 deserving teams. We need your help finding them. Head to seattlesports.com/play to nominate a deserving team in need. Let's help our local youth improve their play this year with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Contest and rules at seattlesports.com/play.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Sebastian's shoulder injury was dramatic.
I was snowboarding down a really steep hill. I hit a tree and went straight through it and came out the other side and had torn my shoulder up.
And the pain?
The pain level was probably at a 9 and the shock level was at about a 15.
I can imagine. It even affected the simplest things.
Couldn't even put the seatbelt on in my car.
Instead of surgery, he went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for Stem Cell Therapy, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
It's way better. I got much better mobility. It doesn't ache as much.
Do you recommend it to people who may be considering surgery?
Absolutely. I got a lot of faith in the way that the science is developing around it, and why not heal your body with your own body?
So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before choosing surgery, go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Get ready to rock. It's Hoobastank, delivering their high-energy sounds at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on Friday, July 31st at 8 p.m. Along with Eve 6, It's two incredible bands on one unforgettable night. Hoobastank and Eve 6 at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on July 31st. Get your tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And summer in Western Washington, you know it means trips to the beach, summer barbecues, little golf, that vacation maybe you've been looking forward to. Well, when you take those pictures this summer, don't you want to look and feel your very best? Eastside Weight Loss Clinic can help, and trust me, you can do this so fast. I lost 15 pounds just in the first 2 weeks, 35 pounds after 8 weeks. How about that? There's time, so what are you waiting for? Schedule a 15-minute, no-obligation consultation right now at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Here's what to expect. Safe, healthy, sustainable weight loss, no exercise, no pills, no injections, no surgery. You're eating all real food that you buy at the grocery store. You will lose weight and you will look and feel your very best. That feeling, it's just on the other end of your 15-minute consult. What's the secret? You'll find out in only 15 minutes with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Schedule your quick intro today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners dropped that series to the Guardians. No off day today on their first game back from a road trip, though. They're opening up a series here at home against the Angels tonight at 6:40 p.m. George Kirby on the mound. The World Cup adds a quirk to this schedule. The Mariners and Angels will play 2 games, break on Wednesday, then pick up the series finale Thursday. Pre-game tonight at 5:30 on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Seattle Times Mariners reporter Adam Jude joining us now. Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Fantastic. How you guys doing?
We're good. I am sure you've already gotten a lot of tweets and responses about the bullpen decisions. Now, thankfully for you, we've already talked about quite a bit of it. So
good. We can move on.
Yeah, we can move on. We won't pepper you with it. I am, however, interested in kind of a tangentially related thing. So one of the things we talked about is how, well, the Mariners kind of got in this position because they decided not to do the piggyback, and in doing a 6-man rotation, they don't have enough. So we were talking about kind of the environment they'd created for themselves. And you did have an update there. So you tweeted out over the weekend, the Mariners have floated the idea of creating a super pen for the stretch run, perhaps featuring promotions of Kate Anderson and Ryan Sloan. I wanted to ask you about that, about kind of what the different iterations of the starting rotation might look like for this team.
Ooh, there's a lot of layers there, and certainly when you're introducing the idea of 2 elite prospects like that, Kate Anderson and Ryan Sloan, it adds more layers to it, more layer of potential excitement, and then of potential complexity as well. And then when you add on top of the layer that already is the piggyback and sort of the snowball effect that has had, as you were talking about with the bullpen and the reliever usage, there's a lot there. But again, I think when you have pitching prospects as talented as Kate Anderson and Ryan Sloan, like, look, the Mariners are watching every single pitch. They see what those guys are doing down in Double-A. They know they're right on the cusp. And, of course, they're mapping out potential ideas and potential ways to get them up into the big league staff in some capacity. Maybe they ultimately decide, look, we don't want to mess with their development any more than we have to late in the season. Maybe they're part of the rotation in some capacity at that point. We'll see. Again, we're talking about 2 months down the road, probably, maybe even more. I wouldn't expect we'd see those guys before August unless there's some sort of major injury in the rotation before then. But there's a lot of layers to it, and there's a lot more to discuss here in the next month or two as we get to the trade deadline, and then as we get closer to September and you're deep in a playoff push, presumably at that point. But what's the best way to deploy those two? But again, as much as anything, I think the Mariners, as they approach the August 3rd trade deadline, obviously know that they need reinforcements in the bullpen. I think part of that is precipitated by the Matt Brash injury, by the Cooper Criswell injury. We kind of overlooked Criswell and just how important he had become in the first couple months of that bullpen. Look, if they have Matt Brash, if they have Cooper Criswell, either one of those guys yesterday, there's no doubt in my mind they win that game. They're able to cover that 8th inning. But that's just where they're at right now. I think that's less a consequence of the piggyback, what happened yesterday, than it is just Jose Ferrer not being available and them being pretty rigid about not using Andres Munoz more than just for 3 outs right now. So, again, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of blame to go around for yesterday. But I think, as you said, spinning it forward, what this bullpen could look like, you go out and acquire a proven reliever, you go out and maybe bring up either one or both of those 2 elite prospects. And I think it's a pretty exciting, if complex, problem that they would have going down the stretch run.
Adam, you just mentioned a bunch of reasons why the bullpen looks the way it does and the way that it's being used. We opened the show pretty much talking about Dan Wilson's decision-making when it comes to the bullpen and how to use guys. What did you think of his strategy yesterday?
Yeah, again, I think there's a lot of blame to go around. I think, again, I come back to, in a situation like that, where Andres Munoz, he hadn't pitched since Friday. I think he'd only pitched twice over the previous 6 days. Look, the Mariners have been very careful with Andres Munoz this year and his usage, and obviously trying to build up his confidence. Really rough first couple months to start the season. He's obviously been much better. I think in the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've seen his velocity tick way back up to where it was, 4 or 5 years ago when he really started to break out with the Mariners, 101, 102 miles per hour. I know Munoz feels really excited about that. He's still getting the feel back for his slider, which has historically been his best pitch. But Dan Wilson, obviously very traditional when it comes to closer usage. He's a 9th inning guy. That was obviously a huge talking point in the ALCS last year. Look, the philosophy in the past has been sort of the modern baseball look. Like, sometimes the game isn't won or lost in the 9th inning. Sometimes it's in the 7th inning. Sometimes it's in the 8th inning. And that's obviously how it played out yesterday. That 8th inning was the Mariners' undoing. At the same time, I think you can step back and go, look, Jose Ferrer is unavailable. You've got the bottom of Cleveland's lineup. Those guys have not exactly been lighting the world on fire. Michael Rucker's actually been pitching pretty well since he's come up a few weeks ago with the Mariners. Like, it's not unreasonable to ask Michael Rucker to get 3 outs in that situation with a 3-run lead facing the bottom of the lineup. That said, when he gets in some trouble there, I don't think it's unreasonable either to ask your closer to come in for a 4 or 5 out save. But again, the Mariners are taking the big picture look at this. They're saying, look, it's June. It may be in August, maybe in September, maybe in October. They're making a little bit different decision there. But I think with where they're at right now, they've been pretty rigid. They've made their priorities pretty clear. They want to take care of Munoz. They don't want to run Edward Bizardo. They don't want to run Jose Ferrer into the ground. They're already missing Brash and Criswell. So I think they're being pretty careful a little bit at this point in the season. Again, you'd think that it'd be a little bit different decision down the stretch run, but we'll see how it plays out. And I think that obviously plays into some of their priorities, again, as we just discussed, going to the trade deadline, going out and finding another proven high leverage reliever that they feel really confident in throwing in that spot in the 8th inning.
Talking with Seattle Times, Adam Jude right now. Love the theme of just kind of looking ahead and talking about, what can they do? It's far more interesting. So I'm going to look at the offensive side of things. Bump and I talked today about slugging. There was an interesting graphic. Luke Arkins posted it of the Mariners seeing the 3rd greatest difference, negative, in slugging year over year. Now, we can obviously look at the difference with Cal, but that also comes from everywhere. They're really just missing that from the lineup right now. So my question for you, is it fair to expect that they can get some of that slugging back, or is that also going to be a priority for an ad at the deadline?
Well, certainly a priority would be finding a right-handed bat that can help them against left-handed pitching. There's no other way to put it. The Mariners have been just atrocious against left-handed pitching, and they need to fix it. They need to figure it out. We saw them tinker with the lineup the other day in the opener of that Cleveland series. We saw Randy Arozarena at the top of the lineup for the first time since last fall. And they recognize it's an issue, and they're going to go out and try to figure something out. They made a minor trade last night bringing in a right-handed infielder, Buddy Kennedy. Again, it's a minor move. I don't know if he'll be added to the 26-man roster today. He was added to the 40-man. But, again, you're looking for guys that can get some quality at bats together against left-handed pitching. And I have no doubt in my mind that that's going to be a priority as well as you approach the trade deadline here over the next month. And I don't think this front office has shied away either from making early moves if they're available. If they could go out and get a guy this week to help, bolster their bench and bring in a proven right-handed bat, I think they would do it. The problem with that is, you look around the league, everyone's pretty much mid right now, right? There's so many teams within a few games of a wild card berth. These teams aren't deciding if they're buyers or sellers until, 72 hours before the deadline, if not even closer to that. So you kind of have to be patient and wait it out. And I know everyone wants to point and try to get rid of Rob Refsnyder immediately. He's one of the problems, certainly. I don't know that he's the biggest problem, but obviously, they've given him a long leash, and you can't let him go out there and run around the yard and tear up your plants for too much longer. Like he's got to go out and prove it, and he's got to go out and give you some results at some point. Otherwise, as they've shown in the past few years too, they're going to move on from these veteran guys. But that's a priority too. They need to figure it out. You're talking about the slug. There's no team that relies more on home runs than the Mariners. That's absolutely true this year. That's been true by and large the last few years as well. They live and die by the home run. If they're not hitting home runs, they're not going to win. It's pretty much that simple. And you pointed out to Cal Raleigh, obviously, his numbers, he's not where he wants to be. I think he's obviously still finding his timing and finding his rhythm, but he knows as well as anybody he's wearing it, and he knows he needs to go out and get some results as well. And I think the Mariners, obviously, what else are you going to do? You're going to be patient with him. We've seen some quality at bats. I think the one good sign from Cal is he's been pretty patient since he's come back from the IL in the last couple of weeks. He's taken some walks. He's not chasing a ton. But obviously, you expect Cal Raleigh to find his home run stroke at some point, and I assume he will. It's just maybe taking a little bit longer. It's certainly taking a little bit longer than anyone else had really hoped.
Hey, Adam, I've been gone for a week, so maybe you've answered this question on this show already, but do you think that JP at third and Emerson at shortstop is a final thing? This is what it's going to be for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I can't see him going back now. It certainly hasn't been perfect, but you're still in that transition phase. I think you tip your cap to a veteran like J.P. Crawford. He's said and done all the right things, right? He wants to be a mentor to these young guys. Colt Emerson, Cole Young, Ryan Bliss, they've become really close. Like, J.P. has talked pretty openly early in his career. He did not have that veteran. He did not have that guy he could lean on when he was in Philadelphia. He had a miserable time there, and he really needed a change of scenery. And once he got to Seattle, D. Gordon was here, Kyle Seager, those guys kind of, they became his mentors, really showed him the way. I think JP early on was pretty stubborn, maybe a little immature, and he needed those guys to kick him in the butt a little bit. And now when, he's a veteran, he's trying to be that same thing for those guys. And I think, again, it's more than just a talk. He's out there doing it. He's like, you know what? I see the best thing right now for Colt and his development is to play shortstop. Probably the best thing for the team is to have Colt at shortstop too. He's the shortstop of the future. Let's start that now. You don't need any drama. You don't need anyone looking over their shoulder. And so JP going over third base is pretty selfless move on the surface. And at the same time, he's going to be a free agent this winter too. So it helps him kind of showcase, look, I can play multiple positions. I think he'd be open to playing second on his next contract as well, whether that's in a utility role or in a full-time role for somebody. He's out there kind of showcasing what he can do for maybe other teams too. He wants to be a Mariner the rest of his life. Maybe he comes back in a utility role. But I think that's a permanent move to answer your question at this point. And I think for the most part, you got to like what you've seen from Colt Emerson at shortstop. And I think JP, in terms of, making that transition pretty quickly here, I think he's been about as good as you could have reasonably hoped as well.
Adam, as you know, one of the toughest things about baseball from a reporter standpoint is you have to come up with takes or ideas or takeaways based on a sport that simply can't depend on a small sample size. So I understand that the Mariners are down bad right now and that they could beat the Angels tonight 11-1, and we unfortunately just can't take much from that. So instead,
everything's solved.
Everything's solved. Everything's fixed. So instead, what I'll ask you is what you personally might be tracking over the next, let's say, week or two of games that may not feel as significant as an 11-1 blowout win, but would feel very encouraging, even for a small sample size.
Yeah, very well said and really good question. Obviously, to me, we can talk about the piggyback all we want. We can talk about bullpen usage, but we got to go back to the offense. It got to be better. And to your point about the slug too, like you can't sit there and wait for a 3-run homer every game. But obviously those help, and they're a big ingredient to winning in the regular season and certainly the postseason as well. But I would like to see something less definable, I guess, but some killer instincts out of this lineup as well. It's just not something I think we've seen really with any consistency and really hardly at all. You know, they had opportunities there. They had first and third, was at the top of the 8th yesterday too, to try to add on to that lead. It's 4-1. You know, it's a much different feel if you're going to 5-1 and then you're turning to the back of the bullpen for the bottom of the 8th. Like, you know, Randy Arozarena, the last thing you can do in that situation is hit a ground ball, and he hits it, you know, a weak ground ball to the shortstop, and it's an easy double play. And again, you just need a fly ball in that situation. That's just knowing what's happening there, and that's not picking on Randy because he's been their most consistent offensive producer this year. But it's just knowing where you're at in the game, where you're at in that series. Like, it's such a different feel. It's such a different conversation we're having right now. If they're able to close out that game yesterday, it's a 3-3 trip. You know, you win that series, you're still above 500, you're still in first place, and all of a sudden everything flips and it becomes probably your worst loss of the year. And now we're having all these conversations and all this finger pointing and everyone's to blame. And all of that's fair coming off that. But again, if they just that knowing that one at bat, one situation there, just to be able to tack on one run completely change the complexion of the next 2 innings with your bullpen usage. And so, again, that's something a little more consistently I think the Mariners are looking for up and down the lineup. Just stringing quality at bats together, take your walks, you know, move runners over, hit their sac flies. It's obviously stuff we just haven't seen at all in the last 2 weeks when they haven't been hardly scoring any runs. But, you know, you would think against an Angels team that is really bad, they'd be able to, you know, come home and find some consistency. The Blue Jays have struggled a little bit. You know, they really need to get things turned around here. We're almost in July. We're way past the point of saying, hey, it's early. You know, it's time to sort of put the foot to the on the pedal here a little bit and find some offensive consistency. I think patience is certainly running thin from the fan base, and I'm sure it's starting to run thin in the front office as well.
Looking for a killer instinct. I like that. We'll get back to that at 12:45. That's the latest from Seattle Times. Adam, Jude. Adam, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Texas Rangers are now in first place in the American League West after sweeping the Blue Jays in a 4-game series. What's the real headline?
That can't be right. There's no way I'm seeing this right. You're telling me.
It says here they're in first place,
No,
Stacey.
I think you're looking at the wrong standings. You're telling me that in this godforsaken division, in an AL West this down bad, that the Mariners are no longer in first place? But that's what we were hanging on to. You mean I can't say but we're in first place anymore?
Correct, yeah.
Nah.
Yes.
What am I going to do now?
Be optimistic.
No, I am still optimistic.
No, but the Rangers earned it. They put together a few good series. They swept the Blue Jays. When was the last time the Mariners swept someone? Was it April?
Oh, God, isn't that sad?
The Astros, I think it was. Yeah.
No, you're telling no. There's got to be a sweep after the Astros.
Well, they won 8 straight at some point.
Yeah,
that was in May.
I was at the top of the schedule. When was the last sweep? We're looking at. We're looking at Arizona in May. Yeah, you're right. End of May. Okay. So not too far away. But no, they've earned it.
A little too far away.
You know, they've earned it. When you are...
We're now starting July this week.
I fear that actually is pretty far.
I think that the Rangers have done what the Mariners have done all year. Hang around, take advantage, watch other teams lose, say you're still in there, and now it's flipped. They're 500. The Mariners are 1 game under 500. It's a big deal because you're second place in one of the worst, if not the worst division, but it's not because you're second place in one of the worst, and not the worst division. You still got some good ball left in you, or potentially some good ball left in you. So, yes, It's a sad day, but it can all change quickly.
You weren't here, so I already told Curtis this, but can I tell you the take that a friend of mine had? He's a diehard Mariners fan, and I was chatting with him about this team, and he was like, okay, so I might be totally wrong about this, but he thinks this team is almost too confident, that like despite what they say about like we can't, I mean earlier I played that sound for you guys of Cal Raleigh being like we can't take our foot off the gas, we have to play it full 9, everyone's trying to beat us, we have to be ready to fight, that despite what they say, he thinks that they are just fully confident they're going to win the division and that they don't have that sense of urgency. And I don't know that that's what I see, but I thought it was an interesting take of just like that they're not panicking, they're not depressed, they're not feeling the way that a lot of fans are. So maybe, with that being said, it's a good thing the Rangers are in first place, and it's like, yeah, it's not as easy as you thought to just kind of coast and hang on to it.
Yeah, well, I don't want them to panic, but I do want there to be a sense of urgency.
Me too.
I do want them to, maybe it's about time for one of those speeches. I don't know how many they've done this year when it comes to players or coaches, but when you lose the lead like this, and you finally put up some runs, you're not able to put it together, maybe it's time for a little sit down. But no, I'm not panicking yet. Still got some time. This division is garbage.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Jason Robertson reportedly turned down an offer from the Kraken that was closer to $125 million over 8 years rather than the $120 million that was originally reported. What's the real headline?
Oh, okay, so he really didn't want to be here. Got it. Thanks.
I think it's two things. I think that this isn't his first choice, and I think he's going to give Dallas some time to make a better offer.
Is your other reason the streets of Queen Anne?
No, it's not.
The mean streets of Queen Anne.
Yeah. Anyway, I understand. Listen, if you come from a certain place, you come to Seattle, I can see where you can be deterred and not to come here. Sometimes, it looks good for the World Cup. They cleaned it up. But once the World Cup leaves, then it gives back to normal. But he could be waiting on the 8-year, $160 million contract that he saw from the guy from Minnesota who picked that up, $17 million a year. If you don't get that, rumors are that before the draft happens, you can open up that door again with Seattle and see what's going on there. So I don't think this is his first choice, but I also think that there's still time for things to happen to where the Kraken get back in it.
So it might not be like completely closing the door on a
not
trade?
Not completely.
That's interesting. I haven't heard that. Well, that's better sounding than being basically
I mean, he's not
rejected.
eager to come here. He's not eager.
I feel like we walked up to him and we said, hey, do you want to dance? Can I get you a drink? And he laughed in our face. Like, he didn't even say, no, I have a girlfriend or no, I have a boyfriend. Like, he just laughed at us.
You know what he said? He says, I'm actually here with somebody right now. So maybe after they leave, we can have that drink.
I mean, maybe.
He's scamming.
Well, it's too late. Maybe we're now just mortified and we're like, I'm never asking to buy someone a drink ever again.
Be patient. Don't wait for him.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
I just like to think those Toronto hosts thinking Queen Anne is like this rough and tumble neighborhood.
Did you guys ever...
What hood you repping? Queen Anne.
Upper, lower, where you at?
QA, baby. Top of the hill.
The classic gang rivalry between Upper and Lower Queen Anne. Bunch of frozen
walking those hills,
shops.
man.
Yeah. Oh, those hills.
Man, I
are
saw
no
something
joke.
scary at Queen Anne one time.
What happened?
It was the game where the Hawks lost to Atlanta in the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
I went to a watch party in Queen Anne, and I walked by this yard that was gated, and there's this lady just laid out on the floor.
Whoa.
She had a robe on. She's laid out, like body all contorted in a weird way,
What?
like somebody hit her or something. I called the police.
Whoa.
They go over there. They said she just passed out. Like, it was a big thing. Yeah.
Good on you for calling the police, though, and
called
making
the
sure
popo.
she was okay.
I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah. Can't leave a lady there,
Leave it
all
there.
distorted.
Like that?
Yeah. Have you guys ever, by the way, I mentioned the Kraken.
Saved a life.
No. I mentioned the Kraken going up to Robertson to say, can we get you a drink? And he laughed in our face. Have you guys ever been rejected to your face by someone? Is that a real thing that has
Not if
happened
you're
to a lot
giving
of
a
people?
drink. They're always going to take the drink. Then it's like, I've offered the drink, given the drink, and it's kind of like, okay, we're done now.
Yeah, in this economy, they'll just take your drink and walk away.
Got it. Oh, that's
Like, oh,
tough.
this is where the conversation
booze.
ends.
Perfect.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So you've bought someone a drink. They have taken it and just said thank you and walked away.
Went back to their friends.
Yeah. Thanks for the drink.
Wow.
It's a cold game out there.
Yeah, it's a cold
I have
game.
a friend. She went to Vegas. She went to Vegas like 2 weeks ago. And she said she spent maybe $150 because dudes just buy them drinks all the time.
Oh, Vegas was a rude awakening for me with drink prices.
Oh,
Crazy out there.
Yeah, I was like,
it's
I'm
free
sorry,
if you play.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Stacy's just walking around, paying $30 for a beer.
$16? Saying it out loud. People are looking at her like, yeah, ma'am, that's the price you pay for this stuff.
That's exactly what happened. It's like you guys know me so well.
$18 for a Coors Light?
No, they told me the price, and I went, wow.
Young Vegas goers, buy you a bottle and just go to your room, and when you need a refill, just fill up. That's the safest way to go.
All right, let's wrap up that third one. Do you know a woman who gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. And together we want to recognize a woman in our community. We need your help finding her, though. Nominations for the 4th Annual Women of Inspiration Award are open now until July 10th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman at woiseattle.org before the deadline. Taking a look around the NFL next.
Have you downloaded the Seattle Sports app?
We're going to have a challenge right here.
What are you waiting for?
Listen to this.
Every pitch.
Here comes the 3-2.
Every game.
Swung on and missed. Got him.
One app for free.
How about that, folks?
The Seattle Sports app. Every game.
Julio racing back.
Right in the palm of your hands.
Makes a leap and makes the catch.
Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
They got it. Wow.
The Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. When people come first.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
June is Men's Health Month. Swedish Cyberknife is encouraging men to break the stigma and talk about their own health with family members and medical professionals. Dave Wyman here. Find out about your family medical history, as conditions like prostate cancer can increase your risk. When detected early, prostate cancer has several viable treatment options. One of the most effective treatment methods for prostate cancer is offered at Swedish Medical Center right here in Seattle. Swedish Cyberknife requires only 5 short treatment sessions, each lasting less than an hour. It's non-surgical, non-invasive, and patients can typically maintain their usual day-to-day lives. This June, during Men's Health Month, make sure to place an emphasis on discussing your health with family and medical professionals. Ask about family history of medical conditions or disease. To learn more about CyberKnife for prostate cancer treatment, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Bigger food needs call for even bigger savings. Get more at Chef Store for your restaurant, food truck, or event with warehouse savings on food service essentials and grilling favorites. Plus, we're open to the public, no membership required. Visit Chef Store today.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. we can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Sad day in the NFL. Our first story capping off headlines. In an interview with Good Morning America, Titans great Chris Johnson, CJ2K, revealed that he's been diagnosed with ALS 39 years old. And this diagnosis was just over a year ago. Johnson spoke with Michael Strahan about receiving his diagnosis at such a young age. He's using I don't know what the machine is called to speak, but so that's what you're hearing here.
I know you, Chris, from just the incredible athlete that you are. How do you process it?
Honestly, I don't know if you ever fully process it. At first, you're in shock. Then you realize you have two choices. You can give up or you can fight. I chose to fight.
Obviously, great sentiment. But, oh, my God. It was just gutting to think of that life change over the course of a year.
I wasn't ready for that.
No.
I was working out this morning, and they say, watching Get Up, I think, and like, oh, we have something from Chris Johnson. And I'm thinking, like, he's doing something in the community or something like that. And then I see him, and it reminded me of just how precious every moment is, because he was a guy, we're around the same age, and when I was in the NFL, I'm watching him play. When I was in college, I'm watching him play. And to see a dude my age going through that with a family like I have, it's scary, man, because you just don't know what's going to happen in this life.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful mindset. Like, everything he said was so important to hear. And Sarah Langs, who's also been diagnosed with ALS, retweeted his story and just said, like, hey, this is actually, like, quietly kind of underfunded, like, could use even more funding. And if you have the means, you should donate to this cause. I thought that he would be announcing his diagnosis and that it would be heartbreaking. I did not realize he had been dealing with it for a year and that it had progressed so much. So obviously,
tough
thoughts
watch,
of Chris,
man. Tough watch.
And his family, of course. Full interview on Good Morning America. A great watch, an important one. Next story here. Arch Manning was expected to be the #1 overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft prior to last year's college football season. His grandfather, Archie, said he didn't appreciate his grandson getting crowned before even starting a game in college.
I was kind of disappointed in a lot of people. The whole thing, they kind of crowned Arch before he ever played. And I just didn't think that was fair. Yeah, it was a little tough start. Played a great team, and anyway, but I've never been more proud of anybody in my life is the way Arch battled through what he had to go through last year and the way he played, the last 8 or 9 games of the season.
Agree with Archie that it just wasn't really fair for Archie to be crowned like that so early.
Every year, someone is crowned coming out of high school. That's just the way it is. Every year, someone is crowned after anticipating their first start as a freshman or a sophomore, whatnot. That happens. And listen, your family has a name. And when you have that name, there are going to be different expectations. Young man was balling in college. You've seen the highlights. He looked like he was going to be nice. No, I think it is fair. I think every year this is what happens. Some people live up to it, some people don't. If Archie would have came out and did his thing and Arch lived up to the expectations, he'd be proud. So, no. Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
It happens every year. Next year, going to be somebody else.
I don't feel bad either. I would imagine that Arch is just very protective of his family and his grandson and empathizes with the pressure he must be under. But it's not that it's not fair. I think that the approach should probably be like, look, it's understandable.
Yeah.
I understand why there's hype around him. I think he's so talented. But I think that those expectations are also a lot for a 19-year-old or whatever it is.
That young man is paid. Okay?
You don't feel bad for Archie.
Not at all.
Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are still in a standoff about a contract extension. Mayfield told Tampa reporters he'd love to stay with the Bucs if possible.
I would love to be there. I think both sides want to get it done. Now it's a matter of finding that middle ground and what makes both sides happy. But we've, like I fell in love with Norman, our family. We fell in love with Tampa, and it's a great place to raise kids and be around. So regardless of what happens, I think we'll spend our off seasons there. Obviously, it's a little brutally hot, but it's good for training. But I want to be there long term. They've treated me right, and it's the first place I've gotten to that feels like Oklahoma when it comes down to football is football. How can they put you in the best position to have success on the field, and how can they give their resources to help you out? And so it's a great place.
Presumably looking for a contract exceeding $50 million. He's getting around $35 per right now. He and Sam Darnold had very similar contracts under contract through this season.
45.50. That's what you should be getting paid. In Tampa Bay, you have no other options. Jake Browning is a good backup quarterback. He'll come in, be serviceable, win some games. I don't know who Connor Buzalak is. I don't know who Jalen Daniels is. Baker Mayfield, off year last year, but year before, he showed that he can play. You can win your division with Baker Mayfield. You can win your division, maybe draft your quarterback, look at free agency after that. But I think he deserves about $45 million.
Who do you think the best pure pocket passer in NFL history is?
The best pure pocket passer?
Pure pocket passer.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Curtis, what do you think? Best pure pocket passer, NFL history.
Maybe Peyton Manning.
Better than Tom?
I mean, Tom has the accolades, but is that the guy who you'd pick to make one throw?
Yes. 100%.
Tom answered.
Tom was tossing that rock towards the end. I know Peyton had some things going on in his neck. Peyton throwing that football towards the end of his career, it was hard to watch.
In 2015, I mean, prior to 2013, no one should have said that in 2013. 2015, in that Super Bowl between Carolina, everyone was, he's throwing ducks. Like, that was the entire conversation, was Peyton just didn't have the strength to do anything, and it's, oh my God, it's going to be this defense against an unstoppable MVP Cam Newton in Carolina. Obviously, the defense prevailed and the Broncos won. Anyways, Tom Brady answered that question. His answer, Aaron Rodgers.
I think there's no greater passer of the football than Aaron Rodgers. It would be like someone kicking the ball. I mean, there's certain people like, Roberto Carlos, the Brazilian, the way that he kicked that ball. Holy, I mean, there's certain people you're like, you see everyone do it, and then you see one person throw the ball that much better. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was incredible. He's hard to put into words how incredible he passes the ball. The ball, the way it comes out of his hand, the way that it spins and delivers with the pace and with the accuracy, I think
like a bullet coming out.
It's like a bullet.
Okay, so no, I don't know that Aaron Rodgers is a pure pocket passer, but I think he's just talking about passing ability. Yeah. Okay, so I want to re-ask this question for you and Curtis. I like what Curtis said about the single pass. You get to depend on one completion, one single pass that you need made. All time, who are you picking to make that pass?
That's hard to say. What are we talking about? Is it third and long? You're on your 40?
Yeah, let's say
Hail Mary. We've seen him do
3rd
Hail
and 17.
Let's say 3rd and 17. You need to convert to get your chance to win in a Super Bowl. Like biggest moment of the game, 3rd and 17. Who are you picking?
Tomas Brady.
Tom Brady?
Tomas Brady. Every time.
I don't know that I'm picking Tom Brady.
I think Aaron Rodgers throws a better ball than him. I think Pat Mahomes throws a better ball than Tom Brady. But Tom got that dog in him. Tom got that.
Yes.
I know exactly what that defense is going to do, and I'm going to put the ball exactly where it needs to be put.
I think a younger Aaron had that dog in him. An MVP Aaron had that dog in him, and Aaron was better at rolling out of the pocket.
You need to stop. Stop it.
I'm making too much
Underrated
sense.
guy in this. Underrated guy in this scenario, Drew Brees. That dude can make some throws.
This man won 7 Super Bowls.
Everybody else we're talking about's won a Super Bowl too.
Everyone we're talking about has won a
Super Bowls. 7. Y'all tripping right now.
To make, but this isn't to win. I'm picking Brady.
He was still the best at 42.
I need you to hear. I need you
even
to hear
in Tampa,
me out.
he was awesome.
I need you to hear me out. So first of all, I'm talking not to win. If I had to like build up dynasty, or shoot, if you just said who's the best quarterback all time, no hesitation, Tom Brady. No hesitation. But you need one pass?
There are people on the text line that are saying Dan Marino. There are 3 separate people on the text line saying Dan Marino.
One pass.
Ball knowers know it's Joe Milton.
Shut up.
Throwing 70 miles an hour.
Oh, he'll get you those 17 yards and some. So
People
you're going
saying
Tom
Brett
Brady,
Favre.
3rd and 17.
I'm picking Tom Brady.
Under what circumstances would you not pick Tom Brady?
Like a Hail Mary. You got to roll out to the right and toss
that's
one
interesting.
up.
Who would you pick for a Hail Mary?
Why are you moving the goalposts?
Because I know who you would pick for a Hail Mary.
We're not talking Hail Mary. That wasn't the initial question. It was 3rd and 17.
Let me change this.
We're doing it. You're not going to change the question so you get the answer you want.
You get one shot at a 35-yard touchdown. Who are you picking? Because I know who he's picking. Because I know who he's picking.
I'm not answering that. You're moving the goalposts because you want me to say your answer.
3rd and 17. You're going Tom Brady.
Thomas Brady. Every time. He's going to know what the defense is doing. He's going to manipulate with his eyes. He's going to make sure he's protecting. He's going to know where his check down is. Fake the check down. Get the defensive back. Boom, throw it dart.
He's the best.
Thomas Brady.
Quite literally no one,
but
no one on the text line has said Tom Brady. Not a single person on the
text line. Because they don't know
line.
ball like me.
I mean, that might be true.
They don't know ball like me.
But I think
someone said Joe Montana.
Aaron Rodgers is a 4-time MVP. Aaron Rodgers has one of the lowest, if not the lowest, touchdown interception ratio of all time.
You go ahead and take your one-time Super Bowl champion in that play. All right, I'll go with the guy who's done it over and over.
There's a lot of people saying Dan Marino.
I love this conversation.
A lot of people saying Dan Marino.
I know. They're born in the 70s for sure.
Opening up the phone lines at 1. We're going to go Mariners back-to-back here. So at 1 p.m., so that you have time to think about it in 20 minutes, your question is just going to be, how do the Mariners fix this? We thought it would be a little, no one wants on a Monday to be like, what's wrong? We all know what's wrong. How do the Mariners fix this? What's your fix for the Mariners? What do you need to see from the Mariners? That number is going to be 866-979-3776. That's in 19 minutes. Coming up next, the one thing we're watching in the Mariners-Angels series.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
The Mariners have now scored 3 runs or fewer in 11 consecutive games. So what's the deal?
Yeah, you don't have a Mariner on pace to hit 30 home runs. A lot of frustration on that overnight text toy. Why there's a lot of frustration in the socials.
Because you know that as bad as and as bleak as things are today, the sun will come out tomorrow, if you'll excuse the Annie reference.
Come out tomorrow.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Summer is here, and it's time to break through your weight loss frustrations. Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and we have a proven system that can help you lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 8 weeks. Whether you need a nutrition plan to complement your GLP injections, or you're like many of our clients who don't want to worry about ongoing monthly costs, giving yourself shots, or uncomfortable side effects. Either way, our program provides the support, accountability, and structured nutrition plan so you can achieve your results for the long term. Schedule your free phone consult at eastsideweightlossklinik.com.
Look, this plan does work. It's Mike Salk here, and I used Eastside Weight Loss Clinic to lose 35 pounds. Just recently, I heard about one of our listeners who lost 40 pounds. How about that? The plan will teach you lifelong habits to continue eating the food you love while losing weight.
We've helped over 4,000 people lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 8 weeks. Come to our clinic in Kirkland or do the program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free phone consultation online at eastsideweightlossklinik.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh, yeah. Used the trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is the time for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. And Bob, just like me, you had a hip problem. You were recommended surgery. Why did you go see Dr. Wagner first?
I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff.
So you had stem cell on your hip. How does it feel now?
I can do a lot of things I could not do prior to this procedure, and I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now. And I've had friends that have gone to see Dr. Wagner. They had the same experience, whether they were dealing with a hip, a knee, an elbow, a shoulder. Everybody walking out of there feels like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Before you choose surgery, do what Bob and I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
The Mariners are celebrating their 50th season with a legendary weekend in August. It all starts with Alumni Home Run Derby Night, August 7th, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Be here as Ichiro, Mike Cameron, and more swing for the fences in an epic post-game competition. Then on August 8th, it's 50 Season Celebration Night presented by Daktronics. Witness the largest gathering of franchise greats as the top 50 Mariners players are unveiled live at T-Mobile Park. Get tickets at mariners.com/50.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We were just joined by Adam Jude of the Seattle Times, and we asked him, hey, Adam, I know that baseball is so hard to try to take anything from when it's a tiny sample size. But if we are looking ahead to this following week, maybe even the next 2 weeks for the Mariners, what's something we can watch for that matters? The Mariners could blow out the Angels tonight, and it doesn't really make you feel like the offense is fixed. It'll make us all feel temporarily great because they'll win. But, are you going to feel like everything's fine? Probably not. So what might make us feel more encouraged? This was Adam's answer.
I would like to see something less definable, I guess, but some killer instinct out of this lineup as well. It's just not something I think we've seen really with any consistency and really hardly at all. It's such a different feel. It's such a different conversation we're having right now. If they're able to close out that game yesterday, it's a 3-3 trip. You win that series, you're still above 500, you're still in first place, and all of a sudden everything flips and it becomes probably your worst loss of the year. And now we're having all these conversations and all this finger pointing and everyone's to blame. And all of that's fair coming off that. But again, if they just knowing that one at bat, one situation there, just to be able to tack on one run completely change the complexion of the next 2 innings.
What's a killer instinct look like to you?
It looks different in different sports, right? If we're talking baseball, a pitcher on a mound, a killer instinct is what we saw from Munoz the other day, where he couldn't throw none under 100. Everything he figured something out. A batter working a count, getting to a full, and a killer instinct could not be swinging at a pitch that's outside, not chasing. Or a killer instinct could be swinging at the first pitch like JP did, but going yard. So killer instinct to me is just taking advantage of an opportunity to be that guy and not forcing it. It's just natural. It just kind of happens. In baseball, that's what it looks like to me, at least.
I totally agree. I'm glad you mentioned the JP one. Adam mentioned Randy as part of his answer, and he said, look, Randy's, I feel bad using him as an example here because he's been probably their best bat all season long, but there was one specific instance where it's like the Mariners have a chance to rally, and in that particular at-bat, the worst thing you could possibly do is ground into a double play, and that's exactly what happened. So just kind of being hyper-aware of how you're putting pressure on an opponent and knowing exactly what steps add more pressure. Swinging at the first pitch for a guy who, Curtis, you noted, is already 20 pitches into that inning, that's not adding more pressure.
It's letting them off the hook.
Yeah. It's making it too easy on them. So killer instinct, it's playing better, but it's also a kind of situational awareness.
Yeah.
Knowing, how do I make this more painful for this person?
Yeah. It's just it's having no fear.
I like that.
That's why it's tough with that JP pitch. As soon as Curtis said it, I agree 100%. I'm like, yeah, know the situation. Guy's been struggling 20 pitches in. But then having the courage just to swing at that thing and say, all right, this is my pitch, let's go. You can't be afraid of failing to have that killer instinct. And that's what I respect about it. But hindsight, always, we're going to be able to nitpick and say, well, this is what he should have done.
Exactly. And you're absolutely right in that there's multiple ways to look at that. On the one hand, you could say you're making it easy, you got to be tougher. And on the other hand, you could say, I like the aggressiveness. Aggressiveness to me feels like a killer instinct. So totally agree. You can kind of read it both ways. I liked the answer from Adam, though, because I just was sitting here going, I guess more hard hit balls. I don't know, extra base hits. Sure. But he's right. The thing that is hardest to articulate is also the thing that you most desperately want to see. I want to see a team that this is overused. I want to see a team that's got that dog in them. I want to see a team that looks like they can be a headache for someone else, that plays like they're a better team. Yeah, you're going to luck into some wins sometimes. But that's been something missing. This team has not felt dangerous.
No. And yesterday you had an opportunity to take advantage of so many mistakes late too. And teams with that killer instincts typically take care of those situations. You got an errant throw to first base. I love the way, was that Naylor or Cal who ran the base to deter the shortstop just a little bit, right, to make him rush and toss that ball up in the air to first base. Killers take advantage, or teams with killer instincts take advantage of those situations too. You're not going to do it every single time. And I think there have been times where this year the Mariners have, but in this particular moment when you don't have a huge lead in the division, where teams are breathing down your neck, you want to make those plays. I think of the most killer instinct I've seen in the past 2 to 3 years it ain't with the Mariners. I'm sorry, talking about my Dodgers, but that throw to home plate, right? To get that out at first. In that situation, to have the stones to make that throw and execute, that's some killer stuff right there. And I think this team has it in them. They're not going to have it at the rate that these other teams have just because talent creates that killer instinct as well. This team has it in them. But yesterday was disappointing because I thought this could be it. You got Cole Young who gets on base, youngster. You got Emerson who gets on base, youngster. I'm like, here we go, take advantage. And then JP kind of, swinging at that first pitch was anticlimactic. But they have it in them. They just got to find a way to bring it out consistently.
Be dangerous and have that killer instinct. It's a great answer from Adam and something I'm going to be watching for closely in this one. I'm sure tomorrow we can start to talk about the things that are harder to articulate. The not slugging percentage, the not on base percentage, not necessarily the number of hits, but those intangible things about great teams and whether we're starting to see that at any point with this team. Coming up next, staying with the Mariners for this one, we're taking your calls. How do you fix the Mariners? We thought it would be kind of a bummer to on a Monday. We're kicking off a new week here. Come on. We don't want to sit here and go like, what's wrong? We know what's wrong. We all know the problems. But how do they fix it? What do you want to see? What do you want to see them do? What do you want to see happen? 866-979-3776. Your calls next.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob.
Is Sam Darnold worth $55 million a year?
Afternoons 2 to 7.
I think he's worth it. I do too. That's going to be a low-sounding number here very quickly. He's not an ego guy who's going to be, let me cook, let me chuck it all over the yard. I don't think he is going to think, hey, I deserve $55 million. I think he's willing to work for that. Similar results next year, then we'll start talking about that.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Why settle for what's available when you can choose exactly what you want? At Mazda of Everett, the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, you'll find over 190 new Mazda CX-5s in stock, available with 0% interest for 36 months on approved credit. We have every color, model, and feature, and always at the Mazda of Everett price. Shop Mazda of Everett on Highway 99 in Everett or online at MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA 2025 sales numbers.
Olympic Hot Tub's mid-year clearance event is on. Score big savings on saltwater hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Hurry, our mid-year clearance and these incredible deals end June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
I'm Raleigh Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to wish you a happy Independence Day. The 4th of July is my favorite. It's about family, gratitude, patriotism, and amazing exploding lights in the sky. Perhaps I love it most because it's called Independence Day. I love to fight for my clients' independence. Your right to drive, to provide for your family, your right to do stuff. You feel liberty most when you lose it. Remember buying a box of bottle rockets and salute shells with nothing more than a have fun, kids? Well, things have changed since then, including the consequences of a DUI. We're your safe and sane solution to keep freedom ringing. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Red, white, and blue are the colors of freedom, unless they're flashing behind you. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. June is Men's Health Month. Swedish Cyberknife is encouraging men to break the stigma and talk about their own health with family members and medical professionals. Dave Wyman here. Find out about your family medical history, as conditions like prostate cancer can increase your risk. When detected early, prostate cancer has several viable treatment options. One of the most effective treatment methods for prostate cancer is offered at Swedish Medical Center right here in Seattle. Swedish Cyberknife requires only 5 short treatment sessions, each lasting less than an hour. It's non-surgical, non-invasive, and patients can typically maintain their usual day-to-day lives. This June, during Men's Health Month, make sure to place an emphasis on discussing your health with family and medical professionals. Ask about family history of medical conditions or disease. To learn more about Cyberknife for prostate cancer treatment, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data.
Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
Heat up your 4th of July at the Home Depot with our wide variety of grills under $300 and make every gathering one to remember. Give your outdoor space a glow up. Whatever your budget is, with savings on seasonal plants starting at $5. With the grill fired up and your backyard set to perfection, you'll be able to invite friends and family over to kick off the party. Start celebrating with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Prices may vary by store. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
The sounds of summer. They're great until they're not. Luckily, AutoZone has free battery testing and charging.
Let me check that for you.
To help make a rough moment smooth. Don't miss the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone. Free products with select deals until July 27th. And free services every day. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. Plus, get a free base with select mattress purchases. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners open up a series at home against the Angels tonight at 6:40 p.m. George Kirby on the mound. The World Cup this week adds a quirk to the schedule. The Mariners and Angels will play 2 games, Monday, Tuesday, then break on Wednesday, no game Wednesday, and then pick up the series finale on Thursday the 2nd. Pregame starts tonight at 5:30 on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. You know what I think is really fascinating? We're all...
How rainbows are created. Isn't it crazy with the water and the mist and the sun?
No, I don't think about that a lot.
Rainbows
It's a great point, Bump.
They're
No.
great.
How tower cranes are built
point.
without the help of another tower crane.
No, stop. All of you stop it. No,
From
no
the
one's
ground
talking
up.
about that. Oh, my God. No one's talking about those things. No. What I was going to say is that we can all kind of identify the problem that the Mariners have. It's so tough to figure out what they need to do. But that's why I believe in our listeners. And that's why I believe in us. And so what we're going to do here is just talk about, it could be a small change. Hey, look, if I had my way, if I could get Jerry DiPoto's ear on this thing, I'd tell him to do this. You get a chance. We're going to give you a mic. If you want to talk about things you'd like to see the team do, this is your opportunity. 866-979-3776.
Y'all better call in too, man, because them text lines been hot with opinions.
Oh, man. It's one of those things where, and I found myself doing this too, where I'll be like, they need to spend more. And then one time I had a listener be like, okay, well, who do you want? And I was like, okay, I hadn't gotten to that step yet. I hadn't gotten to the next step. So you can be very specific if you're someone that's thought a lot about a lot of different things. It could be as simple as like, God, this guy just needs to do this, or I want to see this lineup change, or I want to see this, whatever it is. But we're just opening it up. This is a big opportunity for us and for listeners. We're going to give you a mic too, to be able to talk about the things that you desperately want to see done with this team. They just fell out of first place, but there's still half a season left. So the time for change is now. What do you want to see? 866-979-3776. Ian, let's start with line 1, Scott in Renton. Scott, how did the Mariners fix this?
I've been watching this go on for some quite time now, and I hold it down to accountability. Players play, coaches coach. The players need to be coached. The coaches need to coach the players. I think the coaches need to coach the players. Everyone is sitting back doing the same stuff they've always done. It's like if you ever talk to someone and they talk and then they go, yeah, they really act like they're paying attention to you, but they don't know a darn thing you said. Our coach back in the day when I played, he didn't like mental mistakes. He could handle physical mistakes. But if you don't keep that in your head and you keep messing up and do what it is to correct the thing, you're not going to figure it out. They need to be more disciplined hitting. They need to just stop swinging nonchalant. We'll pop up to the pitcher 3 times. They're not being disciplined. They're not keeping it in their head. And as far as pitching, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Dan Wilson will go out and push buttons on analytics and stuff like that. It's like they need to pay attention to what they're doing and stick with it and not let it just go away. They really need to be self-disciplined, and they're not.
So, Scott, you're just calling for some kind of like accountability. Like, I need the coaches to actually
they need like a Bobby
push.
Knight to throw a chair at them. Yeah, they need a coach.
Maybe not a chair.
They need someone. They need the old school Lou Piniella. They need someone to say, "Hey, you can't just fix this for one game and go and and go back to your old self. You need to focus every at bat. You need to do what's right."
So you want to see a little fire from players too, just something, urgency.
I want the players to listen to the coach and know what to do. They're just not doing it. So our coaches always call those mental mistakes.
Okay.
If you know what to do and you do it, and then you fall off, it's a mental mistake. They're making too many mental mistakes, base running mistakes.
And need to run. Yeah.
Okay.
And need to knock it off. I get it. Thank you for the call, Scott. I'm picking up what Scott's putting down.
Yeah, no, I'm not against it. I come from a culture of what Scott is describing.
Sounds like you and Scott had similar coaches and probably preferred that style.
I definitely do. But here's the thing, though, man. It's where do mental mistakes show up in baseball? Base running, maybe fielding, throwing in. I would say that's a physical because you got fooled. You bit on something.
That's fair.
You saw a ball that was in the zone and it's a sweeper and it just tails away from you. You made a swing. That's identification, right? You didn't identify the pitch. So decision making to me in baseball really just shows up in base running and maybe fielding. Like instead of hitting the cutoff, you try to make the throw at home and then it's an errant throw or something like that. A lot of mistakes in baseball that are made are you're being fooled. You think you saw a pitch that was in the zone and it's out the zone. So that's what's tough. But now if you keep getting fooled by the same pitch, like with Julio, I know where he's going to get fooled. Low and outside, my man is going to swing at that thing most of the time. High and tight, he's probably going to swing at that too. So that's where the lines are blurred a bit when it comes to that.
I don't mind that take because now I'm wondering, like, okay, if I'm Scott or if I'm anyone who agreed with him, and I'm sure many people do because they don't want to see the same mistakes over and over, what are mistakes you have more control over is what I'm hearing from you. Yeah. I like that. That if you start to see fewer errors overall, certainly not getting thrown out as a base runner, especially not as the third out, like that kind of stuff. Like if you're trying to steal and get thrown out, fine. I actually would like to see them have more stolen bases, but yeah, I like that. As like if you see that number go down, that sounds like erasing some mistakes. It sounds like some coaching stepping in there. 866-979-3776. How do the Mariners fix this? I'm waiting for someone, given that they're playing the Angels, to go, I think you need to start a fight with the Angels. That might have been my call.
Jesse Winker.
That's the recipe.
I've wondered that so many times. Like, what if it's just a fight? Do you think a fight brings a team closer together? You've been on teams?
Yeah, sometimes.
It didn't happen.
It don't last long, though.
Yeah. We just didn't, like, splash each other.
We got a fight when I was in college. We're still a 500 team. You know?
But did you feel closer?
I mean, we definitely were closer.
Okay. See? Fight against the Angels. Let's go to Art in Lake Stevens. Art, how do the Mariners fix this?
You know, there's a multitude of concerns that you guys are bringing up. And I think you ended with coaching right there at the end. I believe, and I believe this all year, and I've been saying the Mariners right now, with the coaching they have, and I'm talking about Dan Wilson, with the coaching they have a 500 team. And I've been saying this even when they had an 8-win streak. They're a 500 team. And they are 500, a little less than 500 right now. And they're going to be 500 at the end of the year, unless I believe we change leadership. I think we have to change Dan Wilson. He's been the reason with poor decisions with either pitching or batting or switching from left to right. Whatever you might say, he's been in there rocking back and forth, thinking, hoping that we got the right pitcher in there, hoping the pitcher will get him out. And I'm talking about not the leverage arm. I'm talking about the arms that he's bringing in, like yesterday. Sat there and watched them allow 5 runs, 6 runs with not a leverage arm. And so you bring a leverage arm, you put him in there for one batter. You've got to play the game to win. We were winning 4-1. That's just a small synopsis of the year. He makes these decisions constantly, and they're poor decisions. And I'm sure everybody would probably comment on that. I know everybody loves Dan Wilson. He's probably a nice person, but he's not making good decisions. And you know what? If you had a different coach, and I would take any coach in the league right now other than Dan Wilson, I'll bet you would have better decisions on many games. I think he's been the cause of 10 losses, at least.
Thanks for the
call. In his poor decisions.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for the call, Art. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I've seen quite a few texters say the same, and I have my own issues with some of Dan's decision-making, bullpen management. I think that it has cost them games. So I agree with you there. I think the reason that I have not made it an opinion of mine that Dan needs to be fired or whatever today is I don't have an answer. I don't see an immediate solution there to make your manager. It's not like you can go grab Terry Francona and make him your manager. B, I don't know that it makes sense to move on from a manager who still has a clubhouse. So long as the clubhouse is still with him, I don't know that you solve every problem. And C, if I were to throw on just an extra note, while some of those bullpen decisions are tough and we're coming off a bad game, it's not Dan's fault that Cal's not hitting. It's not Dan's fault that this team is pretty lefty heavy. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't sign Rob Refsnyder. So there are certain things that I'm like, that's the exact same thing I said with Scott Service. The exact same argument I had was Scott didn't build the roster. I'm okay with him being here so long as he's still got guys on his side. And it sounded like what happened was that maybe the clubhouse started to turn, so you felt like, okay, but like if you fire Dan, assuming guys are still really behind him, you upset your clubhouse, and now you just have Manny Acta, I guess, as your interim manager. It's fine. Everyone loves Manny, but like you're not going to find someone to replace him with.
The tough part about the Dan situation, one, I'll never call for a manager's job.
Yes.
But there have been managers this year who have been let go, and a couple of those teams have turned some things around.
Mm-hmm.
But that tells me that what you mentioned, they must have lost the clubhouse. And I'm with you. I don't think Dan has lost the clubhouse.
Well, and I think everyone's pointing to that happening with Philly, and not as much with the Red Sox, who remain absolutely horrendous. Now, granted, I think Alex Cora is a very good manager, and he was not fired, in my opinion, for like managerial decisions. Yeah, I don't know. I get frustration with Dan. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I just want to make sure I know whether someone moving on would fix a problem, and I just don't think right now that it would. You need players to play better.
Mm-hmm.
And ideally, you need to make some trades to make yourself better against lefty pitching. I think that solves so much of your problems. Don't put yourself in a position where a bullpen mistake from a second-year manager is costly as often as it is.
So you put more onus on the players, though.
Yes. Yeah.
It should be. They're the ones out there playing.
You entered into the season knowing Dan was having his first full-time, or like second full-time managing year. You knew that would be kind of a weakness for you. Make it easier. I know that sounds like a cop-out or an excuse to some people. I don't know. Let's go to Troy in Puyallup. Troy, how do the Mariners fix this?
I think it's a multitude of things, to be honest with you. I think the Rob Snyder thing failed. I don't think you can pin it all on Dan yet because the players still got to play. I mean, scoring 3 runs an average for, 12 straight games, that's player situations. If it were me, I mean, make a splash with, The Rock and put a couple things together and go get Durant. He's still got 3 years of club control, and maybe you move on from Randy and get better short up in the defense. But I'm just, the can zone thing and it's just over and over. I don't know. There's got to be something better than the left on left, right on right every 5 minutes.
Okay, so do away with platoons, says Troy and Puyallup.
Yeah, I'm with that. No platoons, no piggybacks, no humpbacks. None of the backs. We need just a solid roster and say this is what we're going to do. If Kyle needs a break, we know what we're doing there. Switch up the DH every now and then according to matchups. But at this point, you take the data that you've got and say, all right, this is our team. This is what we're going to roll with. There's only one player really on this team where I'm like, I just have no faith when he's at the plate. And I feel bad for that dude because if I feel that way, could you imagine what he feels like standing in the box knowing that he hasn't busted a grape in a fruit fight in like six months? It feels like I feel for him, man.
Let's go to CJ in Seattle. CJ, how did the Mariners fix this?
My first thing I do is fix the 6-man rotation thing. It hurts us a lot.
Yeah.
And into context, like the Dodgers, they get an extra guy in the bullpen, so they essentially have 8 while we have 6. And I think there's massive consequence to that. And we've all seen him in Munoz. There's 3 games right there, I believe, that we would have if he was having a normal year.
Yeah.
And I really like Troy's call from Puyallup, as you said. And so, that's what I would say. I would definitely like to know what are we doing and how are we doing it with the rotation, that being our strong point.
Yeah.
So
I love it, CJ. Absolutely agree with that one. Bump, let's talk about CJ's point a little bit. It's just like, look, it's not my job or CJ's job to say this is exactly what you should do, though everyone has opinions. But, you desperately need to figure it out because it's putting you in these positions.
Yeah, fix it. I mean, Dodgers is a cheat code, though, man, with their rotation. Already got Shohei. But, yeah, you need to have especially with this bullpen, the more arms you have available, the best, because we know that injuries happen. We know that there are some favorable matchups and some that aren't favorable, and the piggyback kind of confuses everything. It makes you have to be perfect with your decision making with that piggyback. Whereas without the piggyback, you have a bit more flexibility and leeway when it comes to that. I'm with that caller 100%.
Yeah, me too. A great point from CJ. And how we something we mentioned earlier in the show and talked about a lot last week too is just the need to make a decision there. How do you fix the Seattle Mariners? Just an easy question to answer. 866-979-3776. We've had a couple people say, do away with platoons. Don't love the platoons. Figure out the rotation. Figure out how to hit left-handed pitching. We've already had someone who says, hey, honestly, we had someone who said coaches need to do better and players need to listen, and someone else who wanted to see just a new person at the top with replacing Dan. So that's what we've covered so far. Let's keep this moving. Let's go to Sean and Puyallup. Sean, how do the Mariners fix this?
Hey guys, I'm going to keep it real short. I think we need a big old fight. I think a benches clear and brawl is what we need. If Randy gets hit by a pitch, I think they need to clear the benches, and I think Dan needs to lead them out there. I think that'll bring everybody together and get us on a roll like happened a few years ago. But we need something. We need some sort of fire.
Sean, I'm not even mad at that take because here's the thing.
You've been waiting on that take.
I've been waiting on that take. Sean, I'm so glad you called in with this. Thank you for calling. It's one of those things where you're like, I have no scientific evidence to back this up, but I'm absolutely convinced that a fight brings a team together. You know why? Because I would like to see fire. I had someone text in earlier and say, I don't think there's dogs on this team. I said, I don't know. I think there are indeed dogs on this team. I I think that those dogs are just sleeping once in a while. And I think they need to be woken up because this team, for as awful as the AL West is in danger of losing it.
Yeah.
And it's inexcusable given their talent. So wake them up, get in a fight.
Here's one thing I will guarantee you. If a brawl goes down, Dan is not in the mix. He's not. Dan is more of a walk over there. All right, guys, calm down.
Yeah, he's going to be like, let's talk this out.
Yeah. I wouldn't say talk it out. He'd probably drop, hey, go to your dugout.
Can you imagine Dan swinging?
He's not the one. He ain't swinging. Service, I can see swinging.
Service absolutely would get in the mix.
Yeah, he got in the mix. When he came out, his hair was all jacked up.
Yeah, it was objectively hilarious. I'm down for a fight. I think that really smart baseball people are going to tell me I'm an idiot, and I'm telling you, I think it works. I think it works. Harley calling from Alabama. Harley, how do the Mariners fix this?
Hey, Bump. Hey, Stacy. Huge fans from Alabama. Watch every single episode, every single take.
Very cool.
I'm going to keep it quick and simple. I would like to say Rob Brettsnyder's got to go. He's doing nothing for the team. Put Castillo in the bullpen. Make him one of the best relievers in the game.
Thanks for the call. Wow, Harley really did keep it short,
he
keep
said,
it
listen,
simple.
we're from Bama. We don't play around with this. Go straight to the point.
And he sure did.
Brettsnyder, you out of here.
He sure did.
Still bullpen. Thanks for calling. Roll Tide.
I have no issues. I mean, again, it is awkward saying this guy's got to go. But I'll say this. Brettsnyder isn't working.
It ain't working. It ain't working.
Castillo isn't currently working, which is a bummer because his last outing was one of his best. Not currently working. Brettsnyder not currently working.
It ain't working.
And they need another arm in the pen, and they need to figure out how to hit left-handed pitching.
It ain't working.
I'm cool with Harley's call.
I'm cool with it, too.
A couple more minutes here. Let's go to Danny in Sammamish. How do the Mariners fix this, Danny?
It's a three-point plan. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the piggyback. We're going to do that by trading Hancock for a bat. Second point plan, we're going to DFA Refsnyder. Third point plan, I love Manny Acta, but we need a new bench coach to actually tell Dan Wilson what to do. So we're going to get rid of Manny and get a bench coach to help out with the managerial decisions.
The decisiveness of Danny and Harley, I'm obsessed.
They've been sitting at the bar top all year talking about this.
Danny said, I got a slideshow, sit down.
I like it.
Hang on to your butts.
These guys, straight to the point, and I could see where they're coming from. You can tell it's been thought out. They're not shooting from the hip when it comes to their analysis or their requests. They have no problems with them.
And look, they're both identifying the problems that all of us are also seeing here. And you know what I like? Whether you agree with those specific solutions or not, I think there are solutions to some of the Mariners' problems. You can't fix bad luck. You can't control injuries. There are things they can control, though. Let's go to Nathan in Seattle. Nathan, how did the Mariners fix this?
Yo, we got to start cheating hard. No, just kidding. So I've been watching this team my whole life. and yeah, PED. And I fall into the same trap of like, I really like fall in love with players or like, man, I really like this guy and I want to do well. I think we got to be more cold and be like, hey, this isn't working, move on. Really in line with what a lot of people are saying. And also, there's no freaking salary cap in baseball. We got money over here. We got to just go and buy the dudes.
All right, so you're down with like cutting bait with certain guys sooner rather than later. Like, don't wait until August to figure out a platoon bat isn't working.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Nathan. I kind of like Nathan.
Nathan sounds like he belongs on the radio, honestly.
Nathan sounds like he should do stand-up comedy.
He should do the promos.
Voice.
What do the Mariners need to do? Cut them. Cheat hard. PED.
We need to cheat hard. Let's go to John in Normandy Park. John, how do the Mariners fix this?
Well, we all know that baseball players are probably the most routine-based athletes out there.
That's
and I feel personally that there's just too many inconsistencies. Like, these guys show up to the stadium on any given day, and they don't know if they're batting first, fourth, ninth, if they're in the lineup or not. It's chaos baseball, but in the wrong kind of chaos. Last year, great chaos baseball. We all knew. We saw the comebacks. We saw everything. This team has no juice. They have no life. I mean, there was a stat they said on air the other day. I think they're like 2-39 after trailing past the fourth inning or something like that. They need some juice. That's all I got. Let's bring the frickin' juice. That's it. Thanks.
Love the idea of bringing the juice, and also love John's point. His point initially was like, hey, quit moving everyone around the order all the time. Now, I don't mean to speak for John. I would assume he's probably fine with, like, if a guy's not performing at all, move him back a little. But there are so many moving pieces with a team. And I know that it's kind of a time when you can experiment a little bit.
He's
but
absolutely right.
Exactly. Like clear communication and a clear plan.
That's the thing, though.
What?
Most teams move guys. Your 7, 8, 9 is gonna be moved around sometimes.
That's fine.
Even your 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is gonna be moved around sometimes. So, I get what he's saying, but that's just the way baseball is played.
But I think what he might also be getting to is like, look at the piggyback.
We didn't say piggyback. He said specifically, guys don't know where they're batting every day.
I was putting words in his mouth a little bit, but like what I picked up.
Don't try to reinforce his argument. We're talking about what he said.
What John and I are saying collectively are that there's a lot of moving pieces, and I would love moving with purpose. That's going to be my theme of the week.
So you think Dan just said, "Any minute, mo catch that by his toe"?
No, I do not. No, I do not. No, but I think they're experimenting a little bit. I think they're experimenting a little bit, and which is fine, but unfortunately, it is now costing them
that experiment
wins.
Last night. I didn't like. I don't like that experiment.
You know what else I think John might be saying? That Tom Brady may not be the best choice for 3rd and 17 when you need one pass completed, and that you might be going on career stats. It's Aaron Rodgers. I actually agree with, ironically, Tom Brady that the answer is Aaron Rodgers. It is.
Tom Brady said he's the best thrower of the ball. He didn't say 3rd and 17.
3rd and 17, you get a pass. You're going Tom Brady?
Thomas.
Can't believe that.
Mr. Brady.
All right, we didn't have time. We have a couple other callers. I'm so sorry that we didn't get to you, but hopefully we are talking about something much more positive with the Mariners. And by the trade deadline, we can have more fun conversations like, oh my God, who do we want to see added? Wow. How did they get this done in the ALDS? So fingers crossed here. What I need to know coming up at 1:45, get those questions in 866-979-3776.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle Sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
After years of football and the injuries that go with it, my first thought was always go get surgery. Hey, it's Dave Wyman, but after a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, my eyes were open to an alternative to surgery, and I'm talking about stem cell therapy. Well, and my buddy and co-host Bob Stelton, also in pain, and decided to go see Dr. Wagner.
I had a hip issue from 14 years of jiu-jitsu.
How's the pain now?
Everything I did before, I can do just as well. Hitting the heavy bag, sparring, rolling, all of that is back in play. This whole thing has been such a pleasant surprise because I really was of the mindset, I'm going to have to go under the knife. I'm going to have to get surgery. And this really saved me from that. I could not be happier with the results.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
Do it. You will not regret it.
Hey, get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain.
DayandNight.net. Slow drain? Backed up toilet? Call Day and Night to save $100 off any drain cleaning.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. From a slow drain to a major backup, no drain is too big or too small. Whether we're your first choice or smart second opinion, I guarantee our experts will solve any drain problem, day or night.
Now get $100 off any drain cleaning.
DayandNight.net.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about summertime. Bikinis, the occasional Speedo, sunshine, and almost always more drinking. But don't let the wine coolers or hard lemonades fool you. Too many drinks at the beach can get you in a whole lot of trouble. You're sporting a farmer's tan, but the police are wearing heavy, dark uniforms. And it's not because they're comfortable. If you don't take preventative measures, your summer tan can become a costly burn. Take a designated driver with that aloe vera and SPF 50. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to set up a free private consultation. Jail is no place to ask, missed a spot? Mind getting where I can't reach? Be reasonable this summer. And always remember, 1-800-DUI-AWAY has your back.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
Not all heroes wear capes. Some carry groceries, prepare meals, or simply hold a hand. Caregivers are the everyday heroes who keep our communities strong. Right now, Washington needs more of these heroes. People like you, ready to make a difference in someone's life. Caregiver Careers Washington offers online resources and guidance to help you get trained and start your caregiving career. Become a hero not just to the person you care for, but to their family and their community. Visit caregivercareerswa.com today.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB and this station.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
June is Men's Health Month, and Swedish Cyberknife is encouraging men to talk about their own health with family members and medical professionals. Swedish Cyberknife can effectively treat conditions like prostate cancer, which can run in the family. Swedish Cyberknife requires only 5 short treatments, each lasting less than an hour. To learn more about Cyberknife for prostate cancer treatment, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We just listened to a lot of your calls about how the Mariners can fix this. And I don't know that we're going to sit here and definitively say that we all have all the answers, but I do think there are a few things we learned that were very interesting, Bump. For instance, I don't know how many of our callers were really talking about specifically like, hey, you've got to do this with Cal or move this person here. While there were people that wanted specific suggestions for Ref Snyder or piggyback, a lot of people were just looking for something they could feel with this team. Mm-hmm. Hey, I want to see and feel urgency. I want to see and feel fire. I want, you know what I mean? I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah. It was like they don't feel the passion that they want to feel when these guys play. So I can get with that.
Anyone you especially agreed with, a take where you're like, this is exactly how I feel?
Probably just direction, no piggyback. Let these guys play, put them in position, stop with the platoon and all that stuff. Yeah.
Curtis, you were saying earlier that look, it's not to take away from any particular person's opinion, but you were saying if something is so obviously a problem to so many, why not make a move?
Yeah, why are we sticking around with this same thing that we've been doing all season long if it's not going to work? We're more than halfway done with the season. what guys are pretty much what they are. Like, you're not going to see a big change in performance from a lot of guys at this part in the season. So you look at your underperformers. I think there's none more glaring, at least in terms of off-season addition, than Rob Refsnyder. Something's got to be done in that situation because you just don't have the same amount of time that you did at the beginning of the year. You're obviously not going to, move Cal because he's Cal Raleigh. He's, a year removed from a 60 home run season. Like, there's still the possibility that he could somehow, get back to a level that we've seen him at more normally.
Well, and is a good catcher.
Right, and his importance in calling a game, his importance with the pitching staff, like, it goes beyond just the home runs. It goes beyond just the slugging percentage with him. But if a move or moves are becoming more and more obvious to everybody watching these games, then I think something needs to be done really soon. And the two most glaring to me are Refsnyder and then also the pitching staff. Figure out the rotation. Like, do not continue to pass the buck. Get a 5-man rotation, move somebody to the bullpen, do something quickly because you don't have the same amount of time that you did.
Bump, you think it's about, like, protecting feelings? Maybe a stubbornness on the part of a front office who saw Ref hit 302 against lefties last year and are like, wait, you're telling me what happened to this guy?
I think we paid for it, we're going to make it work.
We paid $6 million.
$6 million.
And we don't want to punt on that.
That's what I think it is. It's what we see in a lot of sports is you invest in someone so they get more opportunity than the next guy because they've shown you that they're capable of doing it. The toughest part is pulling that money out and saying, look, hey, it was a bad investment. Let's not even pulling out, just giving it to them and saying, go elsewhere. We got some work to do.
Yeah. I think there is, in general, I think, a stubbornness to want to see an idea through. And there were many people, and I'll give them credit for this, there were Mariners fans that didn't like the addition of Rob Refsnyder. I remember seeing those texts on the text line. I didn't mind it. I wasn't, like, absolutely thrilled because in an ideal world, you don't have so many platoons, but Rob Refsnyder did not have one good year with Boston last year. Rob Refsnyder, over 4 years with Boston, was pretty solid as a platoon bat. Last year, in terms of average, was his, like, best against lefties. But he has been great in those moments, year by year by year by year. I don't know that you really could have foreseen him taking this kind of tumble.
Nah.
So I can initially, like, certainly in May, understood the hesitancy think about words. Nice. Thank you of a front office and being like, we were so sure this would work. What if it's a vibe? What if it's mental? What if it's a knee? You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to move on and have him go somewhere else and succeed. That's a bummer. But by the end of June, nearly July, I am wondering if it's time to. And it doesn't have to be. Honestly, it doesn't have to be moving on. Put him on the IL, maybe. Let him, be 100% because he's dealing with a knee injury. He has been dealing with a nagging knee issue. I don't think it solves your problem.
So we're hoping for some Polanco type stuff, huh? Knee injury, then come back and just ready.
I mean, I was wondering for a while if just you like overplay him, like you put him out there all the time and give him every opportunity to succeed, but it would come at the expense of other bats that have been much better. So after thinking about it, I couldn't justify it. The piggyback one is interesting to me because they've made it clear. Well, haven't made it clear. They have certainly made it seem as though this is not a long-term plan. But then what is? A 6-man? I feel like they're just kind of dancing around.
It's almost like they're scared to make a decision. They're scared to make the tough decision. And that's what leadership is, honestly. Leadership is making a decision that isn't favorable and having to listen to the Bump and Stacy Show, critique everything.
I don't know why you wouldn't want
knowing
to.
that we're not in the trenches with you.
And I'm not.
That's what leaders do.
Yeah.
Any leader of countries, businesses, teams, whatever. You make decisions that you feel are right, and you understand that a lot of people are not going to vibe with it. So make a decision. Forget what we think. We're going to talk about it for sure. We're paid to do this. But make a decision and ride with it. And if a decision is a 6-man rotation, you come out and say 6-man rotation, so be it. If a decision is a piggyback, we're going to do it, so be it. But it's the gray that has everybody wondering. And it's the way the piggyback has affected the bullpen.
We got a good question from a listener who said, hey, we're all saying, hey, the piggyback's affecting the bullpen. And they said, but what bullpen arm are we using if you don't go with a six-man? They said, is it going to be Alex O'Hoppe? Like, he was here, like, maybe not the absolute best person. So, like, how much are you actually aiding your bullpen in not going with a six-man? But isn't the answer imply that you kind of move Castillo to it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how exactly he's going to play coming out of the pen. Like, Bryce Miller, in theory, would be, like, as far as stuff goes, a good candidate. But he's been so good. You aren't going to do that.
And you have superstars coming up from the minors in the next couple months, maybe?
Okay, so a real question for all of us. Are we assuming that Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan are going to be part of the pen moving forward, part of the rotation? How's this going to work? There's a real question I have.
I don't even know if you can assume that they're going to be locks for the bullpen. I mean, we've heard Justin Hollander say we don't want to ruin their development. We think moving them to the bullpen would maybe do more harm than good long term. And
so does that mean becoming a starter?
I think Anderson's stuff plays better as a starter than it does as a reliever. He's not going to be throwing 98, 99. Sloan can match that velocity, but Anderson doesn't strike me as a guy that is going to come in the eighth inning and strike out the side.
So we're assuming Anderson is being brought up if they lose a starter due to injury.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I'll keep that in the
But
what?
You've got 5 already, 6 already.
Let the kid throw the cheese. Bring him up. That's where I'm at this point of the season.
Let
him throw the cheese.
I'm going to start yelling, let him play. Just no matter what. Let him play.
Come on, man.
Get your questions in for what I need to know. Any question, text it now, 866-979-3776.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob.
Is Sam Darnold worth $55 million a year?
Afternoons 2 to 7.
I think he's worth it. I do too. That's going to be a low-sounding number here very quickly. He's not an ego guy who's going to be, let me cook, let me chuck it all over the yard. I don't think he is going to think, hey, I deserve $55 million. I think he's willing to work for that. Similar results next year, then we'll start talking about that.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And summer in Western Washington, you know it means trips to the beach, summer barbecues, little golf, that vacation maybe you've been looking forward to. Well, when you take those pictures this summer, don't you want to look and feel your very best? Eastside Weight Loss Clinic can help, and trust me, you can do this so fast. I lost 15 pounds just in the first 2 weeks, 35 pounds after 8 weeks. How about that? There's time, so what are you waiting for? Schedule a 15-minute, no-obligation consultation right now at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Here's what to expect. Safe, healthy, sustainable weight loss, no exercise, no pills, no injections, no surgery. You're eating all real food that you buy at the grocery store. You will lose weight, and you will look and feel your very best. That feeling, it's just on the other end of your 15-minute consult. What's the secret? You'll find out in only 15 minutes with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Schedule your quick intro today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Do you need a new roof? Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and secure $500 off your project this summer. Our technicians build a custom plan to ensure a high-quality roof installation every time. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Explore the American supercar and British motorcycle exhibits at LeMay, America's Car Museum. Coming up in July, First Responders Appreciation Day, drive-in movie night, cars and coffee, cruise-in, and more. Dates and tickets at americascarmuseum.org.
Ken's Pool and Patio reminds parents swimming is a healthy outlet for kids if we remember to put safety first. Make sure your children are visible at all times by a lifeguard or responsible adult. Sign them up for swimming lessons and provide a flotation device for added safety. Always check swimming conditions in advance and remind your kids to never swim alone. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Ken's Pool and Patio, your family-owned full-service pool experts, proudly serving you for over 50 years, online at kenspool.com.
Every day, caregivers change lives. Caregiving offers flexibility, rewarding work, and the chance to make a real difference in your community. If you've been a caregiver before, now is the perfect time to return to this meaningful career and continue making an impact. Washington needs more caregivers, and your compassion, work ethic, and ability to connect with people could be the answer. Turn your care for others into a career you'll love. Visit caregivercareerswa.com for resources and support to start or return to your caregiving career today.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB in this station.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Hi, how can I help? Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager. I see. Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning? Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better. I feel better already. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's what I need to know. Get your questions in. 866-979-3776. Some breaking news. Quickly, it's NBA news. Memphis Grizzlies are trading two-time NBA All-Star Ja Morant to the Portland Trailblazers for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. Your quick reaction to that one?
Something for nothing. Nothing for something. However you want to put that. Memphis was just done with Ja Morant. Maybe he gets around Dame and he comes down a bit, but didn't Dame get caught up on some like domestic violence stuff?
What?
No, I don't think he's had some baby mama drama.
Baby mama
sure.
drama? Yeah. But Dame is a level-headed dude, though.
Okay.
Maybe him and this the Portland culture will calm him down a bit.
First question for what I need to know. How many kindergartners do you think you could take on in a fight at the same time with no weapons?
20.
At the same time?
Yeah. Because they're getting knocked out. As soon as I touch them, they're eliminated.
Let's pretend it's like it's not really hurting them, but like.
Well, how do you fight then?
Well, no. You could. Let's just. I mean, for the sake
Willa
of
will
so
be
that no
in
one gets offended
kindergarten
here.
this fall. She's 5.
Okay,
so I'm
could
just
I
thinking
take on
20 of her
Willas?
friends.
I think I could. At the
like
same
at once?
time?
I think you could handle
time.
maybe. I think Stacey can handle maybe like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I don't think I could go over 10.
Well, 20. If we're like in one of those, like at a like a jumpy house or whatnot, so I can throw them and they land softly.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yes, 20 for sure.
You know what? I could actually take more than 10 because there's going to be some short ones in there.
They're all gonna be short, Stacey.
Yeah, they're all like 3 foot something.
Okay, maybe I'll say 8. I'll say 8. Okay, Curtis. Kindergartners. Same time, they're bull rushing you. No weapons.
No weapons, just
obviously
just the weapons that I've been given.
Yeah, just these.
Yeah. I think I'm close to. I would say like
20,
around
25.
20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't fight kids.
Because you can like. Will is still at the age where like I can hold my arm out, stiff armor, and like she's swinging and can't even reach me.
And all it takes is a little nudge.
Yeah, and they're flying 10 feet.
Yeah, they only weigh like 40 pounds.
They're still figuring out their balance a little bit. They do bite, says Pete, reminding us. They do bite.
I'm confident in my answer.
Okay. Did you see Shea Serrano getting in an argument with people on Twitter about whether or not he could beat up a chimp? Like who would win in a fight between him and a chimp? He said him. He said him.
Chimps are strong.
He said
Chimps
he
are
said that
terrifying.
chimp is 3'6". It was so
They're
funny.
jacked.
So funny. Joseph in the 253. How many Stacys could you take on at one time?
I probably like 20.
Numbers the same.
25 actually.
It's probably like 5 or 6.
Thank you. It's more respectful. Okay, what I need to know.
You could still do the stiff arm forehead move.
Hey, girl, why you hitting yourself? Why you hitting yourself?
We just talked about the Blazers trade for John Morant.
Morant's French now.
John Morant.
Finish my question.
John Morant.
John Morant, I said. Our first round pick, says this next listener, less valuable in the NBA than they are in the NFL. It sure seems like teams regularly trade 3 or 4 of them for a player.
Yeah, they are. They are. If you're not like a top 10 pick in the NBA, chances are you're probably not going to work out. That's why there are already 2 rounds in the NBA. NFL, man, I mean, we see when Jay Simmons pick 20, he hit. You got Nick Mawari, first pick in the second round, he hit.
35 or something.
Yeah, it's just,
I do kind of wonder if the new lottery odds, which will be in place next year, if that impacts trading, especially with the teams that are historically would have had terrible lottery odds if you're picking like 13th or 14th. But now it feels like there's going to be maybe a more even chance of getting the number 1 overall pick if you miss the playoffs.
What I need to know. Does Joey Bosa, who remains a free agent, make the Seahawks better than the Rams in the national media's eyes?
No.
Nah.
No, I don't think so either.
I mean, he makes the team better, but not better than.
Sounded like he's leaning towards retirement.
Yeah, I thought he was done.
Well, he hasn't texted me yet when he's doing, so I'll let you
Hey,
know.
Bosa!
I forgot about that. What I need to know. Genuine question. Nobody likes the piggyback, including myself. It leaves us short in the bullpen. Oh, this was actually a question that I asked you guys last time about, okay, no one likes the piggyback, but if you're getting rid of it or the 6-man to add someone to the bullpen, who would you want to see back?
Back from, well.
Yeah, I asked you a version of this question in the last segment, so I should preface it with that. They were just saying, we're all talking about the 6-man rotations taking an arm out of the pen. But, like, if you don't have that, then who would you seriously want to see back in there? Because if it's just someone currently in AAA, it's not like they make you that much of a better team. And so I answered for you in the last segment, which is to say, well, Bump's answer has been, I want to see Castillo in the pen.
Yeah, I mean, you do that
together.
from time to time. Ask me a question and answer it for me. But that in that case, it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Because I phrased it strangely, so I was trying to, what I need to know, is it bad form to ask for a selfie from a sports figure or like influencer you see out in the real world?
If you're comfortable with it, go for it.
I mean, if you want to ask for a selfie with me, just ask for a selfie with me. Like,
I've never done it, but if you're comfy, do it.
If they're by themselves, if they're with family, leave them alone.
Yeah, I think that's a fair rule. What I need to know, can you wear 2 outfits sorry. Can you wear an outfit 2 days in a row if you only wore it for a few hours the day before and the people you see will be different?
Most def.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite things to do because then you have the outfit already decided.
They're already broken in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not stiff. It's comfy.
Most def. I did it the other day, actually.
Did you?
On my tour across Washington, I stopped by the Nike store, bought a couple shirts, a couple shoes, and wore it to dinner one night and then changed cities. I was like, oh, I'm wearing it again.
Have you ever ran into the same people when you are wearing the same outfit and been like, oh no?
Yeah, but it's usually the homies that be like, hey, don't say nothing, though. I know.
But this is a fire fit, man. I wasn't going to waste it.
Right? Exactly. When you have a fire fit, though,
yeah,
you got to keep that calm.
Well, and then clothes just don't fit the same after you wash them one time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I was feeling so good. Now it's just a little tighter on me.
Man, I bought 2 Nike shirts, 2 for $25. Wash them things once. It's a workout shirt now. It's a
that's
workout
disappointing.
shirt.
What I need to know. So this person said shared Airbnb etiquette.
Okay.
So
That's a good one.
I'm trying to pick up the context here. But they said, what I need to know is shared Airbnb etiquette. Am I the butthead for having ice cream in front of my brother-in-law's kids at 9 p.m.? Not my problem you're not allowing your kids to have ice cream. I'm on vacation trying to live it up. But now I'm Captain Inconsiderate because I want a little vanilla bean in the evening.
You're not inconsiderate.
Nah.
That is your brother-in-law's problem. That is not your problem.
It's your vacation.
Yeah, you're not parenting his kids.
Also, depending
He's
on how
parenting
old
his
those
kids.
kids are, 9 p.m. is pretty close to bedtime anyway.
And if you're really cool, I'll be the cool uncle. Be like, hey, come over here. I'll slide you something real quick.
Yeah, get those points.
We had a shared Airbnb situation a couple of years ago, and our family got to the Airbnb prior to my brother-in-law's family. And so we had eaten dinner. It was like Arby's or whatever. One of their kids, who is like a cop, looks in the garbage can and goes, who had Arby's?
Oh.
It's like, we did, because we're our own family.
Right?
Okay?
Mind your business.
Who had Arby's? Shut up.
Narc in the family.
Hey, low-key, isn't that the worst when you have family members and little kids who are little you-know-whats? But you got to be nice to them still because your family be like, I really don't like that kid.
Day one. We got 3 more days of this.
Well, Bob coming up next.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob.
Is Sam Darnold worth $55 million a year?
Afternoons 2 to 7.
I think he's worth it. I do too. That's going to be a low-sounding number here very quickly. He's not an ego guy who's going to be, let me cook, let me chuck it all over the yard. I don't think he is going to think, hey, I deserve $55 million. I think he's willing to work for that. Similar results next year, then we'll start talking about that.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change presents Wisdom from the Road.
Summer means wide open spaces and a whole lot of extra miles. The last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. Out here, low oil or a weak battery is just an ambush waiting to happen. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check. These techs are trained to help spot issues early and keep you riding easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Michael is in his 70s, and he was dealing with an injury.
I had tears in my rotator cuff. Just the discomfort of going about everyday life. Day-to-day things were not comfortable or almost impossible, but just being inactive was troubling.
He was in a great deal of pain.
I started trying to learn how to brush my teeth with my left hand, and you can't do it. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Searching for answers, Michael found Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, where he underwent stem cell therapy.
You know, I play basketball Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and so I'm getting my shot back. It's not back to where it was, but hey, before I couldn't even do anything. So 100% improvement of what it was.
Wow, that's great to hear. Would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I can share without a doubt that it helped me, and I'm grateful for that.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch!
But you might get to flash some leather too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss this week's Cal Raleigh Funko Pop giveaway. You have 3 chances to score this one-of-a-kind collectible as the Mariners take on the Angels. Tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday at T-Mobile Park. The first 10,000 fans at each game will head home with this must-have Funko Pop. Lock in your seats today at Mariners.com.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra.